in work, and that Joe, my re-up money secure. I got in, I got out, giving all glory to God. Hold up, this ain't me. Tell me how we went from trapping to rapping on BET. Last week I told investing to the Kansas City Chiefs. Golden rule to invest and make that money while you sleep. They say trap a perfect mixture of Warren Buffett and Meach. No more shoebox money, them portfolios elite. Golden rule to invest and make that money while you sleep. I'm gone.
What's good, what's good, what's good, family? It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Welcome to another episode of Trapping Tuesdays, man. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. All right, man, y'all know before we get started, first and foremost, man, we just got to tell y'all how much we appreciate y'all for tapping in each and every Tuesday, man. Without y'all, there is no us. So y'all know, just got to, just show y'all how much we appreciate y'all and shout y'all out, man, for just bringing us in y'all living room, bringing us in y'all at the work, while you driving a car, whatever it is, man. Shout out to people that's watching us with their kids. I love that. I smile every time I see it. So we just want to start off by saying, man, just thank y'all, man. Without y'all, there is no Wall Street Trapper. Without y'all, there is no Wall Street Looks Like Us now. And without y'all, I can't walk in my purpose. So that, man, I just want to tell y'all, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. All right, man, so I got something that I think gonna hit home today. Today I did something, Jose, that was real cool, man. As I was sitting in my crib, I was just looking at the market, man, and I was just like, we've been here before, right? And people often ask me, like, bro, like, how you be so calm in moments like this? Like, how do you come into the group and, like, speak positivity? How do you not, like, buy into the headlines? How do you not buy into the panic? How do you, like, commit in moments like this? And I often say time and time and time and time and time and time again, you cannot negotiate the necessary. You can't negotiate it, right? So without Goliath, David has nothing to promote to. Yep, it's the Goliath that gives him the authority to be the king. Like, it's the rite of passage, right? And so when I look at people right now, I see so many people with aspirations to build wealth. I see so many people with aspirations to use the market as the reason, as the vehicle that takes you to millionaire status. I see so many people that understand that the market does work, but they just under a little pressure right now. I'm under some pressure right now, but the pressure don't bust me, it turns me into more of a diamond. It actually makes my clarity, like, more unique. All right, let me say that a little bit different, right? Like, there's too many people that want to be investors but don't want the discomfort that comes with transformation. That's it. Right? There's too many people that want to be first-generation millionaires. There's too many people that want to break that generational curse. There's too many people that want to be the last one to get it out the mud so that everybody else can get it out the market. There's too many people that really want to be the architect of their family's last name. There's too many people that want to be the CEO of their family, but they don't want the discomfort that come with it. They don't want the discouragement that sometimes come with it. They don't want the doubt that sometimes come with it. They don't want the pressure that sometimes come with it. They don't want sometimes the not knowing what's ahead that come with it. They don't want none of that, but you gotta understand you can't negotiate the necessary. Yep, like, this part of the game, family. And it's not even about me, like, fussing at you. This is not even about pushing you forward. I'm just letting you know that great leaders lead not from theory, but they lead from practicality that stems from experience of already being there. Yep. That's what it is. See, anybody can tell you how to chart when they ain't got a whole bunch of money on the line. It's like somebody watching you play Madden, like, bro, you should have did this. It's like somebody watching you play chess and be like, yep, you should have moved that, you should have did that. But tell them put a whole bunch of money on the line and watch they start pressing them buttons a little bit different. I'm just saying that real leaders lead from the front, from experience and wisdom, not just from from theory. They lead from practicality on, this is how I go from here to here. I'm telling you that I made $1 million in a play and come right back and did 860 to get this building. I'm telling you, there was a lot of times before that happened, I was under pressure. I was under pressure, right? But here's what you got to understand. The fire is meant to forge you. The fire is meant to forge you. That's what it's meant for. Like, it's your, are you worried? Like, Trap, I've been under pressure all month. Guess what? So what? I'm going to tell you something. You know why Michael Burry's name holds so much weight right now? It wasn't just because he got the 2008 crash part right. It was he was under pressure for 2 years before he got it right. Everybody around him like, bro, like, let me out this trade. Let me out the trade, bro. He like, nope, you can't go nowhere. You got to stand the fire. Nope, you gotta sit in this trade with me from 2005 to 2007, and the trade don't come to fruition until late 2007, early 2008, and everybody make multiple millions, but he had to sit in that fire for 2 years. So I'm just telling you that a couple weeks ain't gonna hurt you. Stop letting the headlines make you doubt yourself. Stop letting the headlines make you start pressing buttons. Stop making the headlines let you go from this strategy to that strategy to this strategy to that. Now you got strategy fatigue. I'm saying find a system that works and stick with it. Every system gonna put you under a little fire sometime. Be willing to stand in the fire. That's it. You gotta be willing to stand in the fire, family. Like, oh, this person making money. Oh, this person making money, but they ain't showing you when they was under fire. Right? Stand in the fire. It's all right. It's gonna be all right. I promise you. Listen, if I can't promise you nothing else, I promise you it's gonna be all right. You gonna work through it. And listen, when you do get some cuts, when you do get some scars, it's just for you to look back at it and say, bro, it's for you to reflect on. The scars become the roadmap that help you get where you gotta go at. That's it. So you can't negotiate the necessary, family. Like, I get it. I get it. Like, you work really hard for that bread. I get it. Yep. I get it. But even the great ones, yo, that's how they become great. Like, they name hold weight because of the fire that they endured that made them be great. Like, if you think about it, I just want you to think about this for a second. No person who you look at as great, the reason why you look at them as great is because you witnessed them go through deep adversity and then come out on top. It's because they went through something that you didn't psychologically think they could overcome. And you like, damn, they did that. I'm just saying that greatness is this your moment. This your moment. This your moment. This your moment. And what really hurts us sometimes is we don't use the fire that we previously went through as proof of concept. That's it. We forget that you done been through the fire before. That's what the scars are for. It's for you to look back and say, oh, I remember that. I got through this. This is just another situation. The market been up for 6 months in a row. You get 2 weeks of down, and now you panic. And now you running like the house on fire. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What we doing? What we doing? So I just want you to understand that I was telling Sean this the other day. We was talking on the phone. I don't know if we was talking in person. No, we was talking in person. And I said, we was having a deep conversation. And I said, Sean, I just need you to understand that if Joseph don't fall into the well, that was it. I say, Sean, if Joseph don't fall into the well, he never get to test the rules that was given to him. Yep. Sean was like, whoa. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, listen. When his brothers put him in the well, They thought it was over with for them. They thought they had accomplished the mission that they had schemed on to do. I'm telling you right now, there's some people in the market scheming on your demise, using your money to make them more money because you become the immediate liquidity for somebody else to triple their net worth. But instead of you being able to stand strong, you weak hands, you shook out. You shook out. Game changer. It's over with for you. And I can promise you this. Man, I can promise you this. The minute you sell out of everything is when the market turn around. The minute you say, yep, it's too much pressure, I got to sell out everything. I can't deal with this pressure no more. The market said, that's just what I needed to turn around. I can almost promise you that. And with a straight face, I understand you've been here before. You've been here before. You've been here before. So before you just start pressing buttons, I want you to take a step back and say, hey, bro, like, am I being emotional? Am I being emotional? Because if I am, watch this. Emotion is the biggest killer of all traders. Emotion is the biggest killer of all traders, of all investors, of any participant in this market in any way, shape, form, fashion. Whether it's real estate, whether it's stocks, whether it's Forex, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's business, emotion. Can you sit at the table and be calm when the pressure is at high? Yep, fear and greed index at 9. All the volume bars heavy red. That means the sellers are participating in full authority. That's what that means. That means they kicking in the door and they ain't taking no prisoners. That's what that means. Fear is at 9. That means everybody in panic mode. That means everybody who rolled up for all them 6 months, they out of here. They gone. There's $18 trillion sitting on the side. Boom. That's it. Yep. But you can't negotiate the necessary. Recalibration. Yep, it's putting the nickel back on the scale, fam. Scale been used for 6 months straight. You gotta put the nickel back on there so it can recalibrate, fam. 6 months, you done used it. You done used it. 6 months, boom, I got the work, bag it up. Boom, got the work, bag it up. Boom, bag it up. Boom, bag it up. Now it's you gotta recalibrate it. How you do that? Put the nickel back on there. Hit the terror button. It's gonna hit the 0, 0. I'm ready to work again. The market gotta recalibrate, fam. Gotta recalibrate. What we tripping on? You're gonna see the recession portfolio tonight. It look like the Red Sea. Trap. I walk in here like, hey, what's poppin', fam? Let's go. You know why? I've been here before. This ain't new to me. And you're gonna hear the people around you. I thought you said it was a bull market. I thought you said it was this. I thought you would say it's that. I'm like, yep, all that's good. Hey, check this out. Holler at me in about 60, 90, 120 days. We're gonna talk about that. All right, it's okay. Right? And what we gotta realize is, one of my favorite moments about life, one of my favorite, man, I think about this all the time, bro. Every time I'm under pressure, I think about Thriller in Manila. Every time. Do I want to be Frazier or do I want to be Ali? 15th round, what's up? 3 o'clock in the morning, what's up? It's hot, what's up? We've been punching on each other all night. What's up? I done punch you in the back of the head. I done punch you in the shoulder. I done punch you in the neck. I done punch you in the ribs. I done punch you in the stomach. What's up? What's up? Round 15, what you gonna do? Man, ring the bell, I can't get up. Bet, I don't even gotta fight you no more. I don't gotta fight you no more. Come on, man, what we doing? What we doing? Either you want it or you don't, fam. It's either you want it or you don't. Ain't no such thing as wealth with no pressure. Yep, that's why a lot of people don't commit. That's why a lot of people fall off. That's why a lot of people say, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro, like, man, that stock stuff ain't for me. Man, I ain't gonna lie, bro, that trading stuff ain't for me. Yep, I'm gonna just keep Just keep to my normal, cause, I know it ain't gonna get me where I gotta go at, but guess what? It's safe. But it actually not. It's more dangerous than being in the fire. Safety is more dangerous than being in a fire, cause you know for a fact you ain't going nowhere. You know for a fact you ain't going, no, you know for a fact that bank account ain't going nowhere. You know for a fact that wealth ain't coming to you. You know for a fact ain't no freedom. You know for a fact ain't no freedom and comfort. Yeah, ain't no freedom and comfort. Bar right there. That's the one I need you to sit on all night. Ain't no freedom and comfort. That's the one I need you to sit on all night. Every time you think about I'm clocking out, every time you think about I'm getting up, every time you think about this ain't for me, I want you to just tell yourself, ain't no freedom and comfort. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it. You become slaves to comfort. That's why, like, when you work out and then you go a couple weeks without working out, guess what happened? You got comfortable. Damn, bro, like, it take a lot to get up and go to that gym, work out. Jose like, yo, I hit the 1,000 on the treadmill. I'm like, damn, I don't really want to do the treadmill like that. Damn, where I'm at. But guess what? I'm about to do these 20 pull-ups. I'm still, like, I don't want to press that no more because I know what so I'm going to do these 20 pull-ups at the end of my workout. I'm going to go sit in the sauna for 25, 30 minutes and sweat it out. But guess what? It take a lot for him to get on that thing and hit 1,000. That's an hour and 20 minutes. I know what it take. It take an hour. We did it before. Listen, but man, I ain't gonna really, no. And then you look back 6 months from now, guess what? The belly back where it was supposed. You like, damn. Now guess what you gotta do? Start all over again. How many times you gonna start the account all over again? How many times you gonna keep quitting and start all over again? You gonna miss out on all that money because you couldn't handle a little pressure. Now you gotta start all over again. And you see people like, yep, I'm making money. And now you saying, damn, I should have just held on. But I should have kept going. I should have stayed the race. I should have stayed the course. I should have got up in round 15. All I had to do is get up, because guess what? They probably won't quit better than me. The person on the other side probably won't quit more than you get him a way out. That's right. Yep, you don't even much know it. People applying pressure, that's what you're supposed to do. What you expect? You trying to make some real money. You trying to make life-changing money. You think it's supposed to be easy? You think it's supposed to be sweet? Yup. My dog asked me the other day, he said, hey, bro, like, how do you consistently evolve? How do you consistently seek to be better, but you stay in your own lane? But they got so many people teaching this game. I say, bro, I'm not comparing myself to nobody. You know why? Because everybody that's teaching ain't in the water for real. I say, yep. Everybody that's teaching ain't in the water for real. It's easy to just throw some charts up there, talk to y'all about them. I can show you everything in the world and be like, yep, you made money doing what I told you to do. But I ain't got no fish in the game. I ain't got no dollar in there. Right? Some people are really great teachers, but they ain't teaching from experience. They teaching from, yep, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. I'm like, bro, like, show me the money you got in there too, though. I want you to show me that you got the same kind of money or some type of money, that because your heart start beating different when you got that real bread in there. Your adrenaline moves different when you gotta press them buttons because you just worked 40 hours and 20 hours overtime and you decided to put the whole overtime check in the market. Like, your heart beat different. The way you see that chart look different. It come a little bit harder to press that buy button. It take a little bit more to press that sell button. It take a little bit more to average down on that contract. But if you teaching me and you showing me and you ain't got nothing in the game, then of course you look like you fearless. It's easy to teach me from behind the screen and you ain't got no skin in the game. You been got out the game. You realize that, yo, I'm a better teacher than I am a trader. Ooh. You said I'm a better teacher than I'm a trader, so I ain't really know. It's like going to college, yo. The people that teach you about business ain't never ran $1 million business, but they can teach you cold-blooded. Nah. Send me to the one that made $150 million in 3 days. I'm gonna pay him what he want. Send me to the one that made $150 million in 3 days. I'm gonna pay him what he want. Send me to the one that made $10 million. I'm gonna pay him what he want. Send me to the one that's gonna show me how to make $1 million. I'm gonna pay him what he want. I'd rather pay him than show the person that's teaching me from theory than practicality. Can't negotiate the necessary. You gotta have some different standards for yourself. That's why I get up here every week and show that portfolio, win, lose, or draw. That take guts. That take heart. Because you know why? They can get on that screen and see nothing but green and they ain't gonna, oh, he lucky. It's this, you supposed to win, you supposed to do that. But the minute they see that red, he don't know what he doing. Not forgetting, yo, this building come from the market. I love that. And I don't even argue with him. I don't try to prove myself to nobody. You don't gotta prove yourself, yo, stay in the game. Your biggest problem is you competing with yourself and you competing with everybody else. Not realize you only gotta compete with you. You trying to outperform them. You ain't no hedge fund manager, family. You don't got to outperform your peers. You just gotta keep making sure you get money. You ain't on no monthly percentage where you trying to hold people. You ain't trying to do that. You just trying to keep learning, and the losses got data in it that you learn from. But you disregarding that because you trying to negotiate the necessary. You're trying to negotiate the necessary. And the hard part about that is the market will relentlessly wreck anybody that doesn't have a plan when they show up. Yeah. Chad, what we doing right now? Man, I'm chilling. Let my players cook. I ain't tripping. Probably got one or two that's gonna fall off probably this month, but everything else, January, February, March, April, I'll be all right. And while the market is in extreme fear, I'm looking for somewhere I could strike. Today, bought my daughter, Meta, under 600. Give me that. Amazon, under what? Give me that. Company just blew our earnings. Give me that. Let me hold that for you for a second. The game don't change, the same thing over and over and over and over again. How many times you gonna keep letting somebody hit you with the same punch? And they not wrong for hitting you with the same punch, you wrong for not adjusting. You wrong for not adjusting. And how you know there's a lot of weak people in the game right now? When has the market, I want to ask y'all one question before I go. I just want to ask you one question and I challenge everybody to fact check me on this. Not one time has the market ever in the history of the market collapsed when everybody saw the collapse coming. Just go find it for me. Not 1929, not 1988, not 2000, not 2008, not 2020. In no market crash did the market ever crash when everybody saw the crash coming. As a matter of fact, the market crashed when nobody seen it coming. The market always crashed when everybody at a high, when everybody feel like, yep, I'm going to buy a yacht. Yep, going to Zamunda. Yep, I'm going to Wakanda. Yep, I'm going to buy everything. That's when the market crashed. It does not crash when everybody's saying, oh, it's about to crash. Fact check me. Fact check me. Got a lot of smart people playing this game, yo. We got a lot of smart people playing this game. But you can't negotiate the necessary. And the problem is you trying. And because you trying, you actually focusing on the wrong thing. It's your boy, the Wallstreet Chapter. Episode 169, Jose. I see y'all in the trap. Let's go.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was a little scared because I was like, you look like you was tired beforehand. And then he said, hey, lace up your boots, put on your backpack. Bro, they hit in the chat talking about, hey, you got a lot of clips on there, Jose. I was like, yeah. Lot of clips. Man, how you feeling?
Man, I'm good, bro. You know, we rocking out, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so tell me though, recalibrating with the nickel, is that a nickel bag or an actual,
it's an actual nickel, dog.
An actual nickel.
Yep, so when you use the scale, when you know, all my people that know, you know what I'm saying? When you use the scale, you know, after you use the scale so many times, you got to recalibrate it because you've used it so many times. And so what you gotta do is you gotta press what's called the tare button, T-A-R-E. It's a button that you gotta press that's gonna zero the scale out. So once you zero the scale out, you put a nickel on it. It's gonna come up 0.5. Once you put that on it, it's weighing the nickel because that's what the nickel weigh. So now you know that's what the nickel weigh. The scale is on point. So then once you take the nickel off, it's gonna zero out. Once it's zero out, you can rock back out.
Let's go. See, some of them going on me in the chat, but there's some people in that junk taking notes like, you know what I'm saying? They got their trapper apparel, they taking notes.
I got you.
Nah, that was good, bro. That was good. I like that. You know we got to do right now?
What?
Shout out to people.
I shout out my people, man. Here we go. Let's go. J Military, Rams, what up? SME, what's up? Carolina Blue, what's up? I know you was gonna like that one. Triff, what's up? Lawn Care Trapper, what's up? Gino, what's up? Dancing Diamonds, what's up? Double R, what's up? Leon Barnes, what's up? Double R, I see you, baby. Chops, fellas, I see you. Miss C, what's up? Will Mack, what's up? Kazi and Investor, what's up? Gino, what's up? DC the Collector, what's up? Sir James, what's up? Leon Barnes, what's up? Larry Morgan, what's up? Drift, I see you. That's 3 weeks in a row, Drift. Stop playing. You heard me? Buy Low, what's up? Gene A, what's up? Cheesy Bread, Salam Alaikum, family. In the concept, I think that was it. What's up? Del Rey, what's up? TRF, what's up? Bill Oliver, what's up? E. Will, what's up? Nate Jones, what's up? Bernard, what's up? Cliff, I see you. Alex, what's up? Tori Simmons, what's up? Rod, what's up? KT, I see you. What's up? Shazam X, what's up, family? Broke No More, I see you. Kenneth Dorsey, I see you. Baby Boy the King, what's up, brother? SMA, Michelle Booker, what's up? Autumn Phoenix, what's up, baby? I love you, you know that. I always pray for you. The New American Dream, what's up, family? Thavion, what's good, brother? Hosea, what's good, family? Pascal, what's up, family? Miss C, what's up, family? Benjamin, what's up, family? Lorenzo, what's up? Ronnie, what's up? I see y'all, I'm trying to get y'all, you feel me? Brown Skin, what's up? Yeah. Let's get to it. West the CEO, I see you, family. Just trying to snatch y'all while I can see y'all, bro. You know what I mean? Stoney Robbins, what's good? Antonio, what's good? Chris Mallory, what's up, family? Big Bell, I see you. Jazz, what's good? I see you. T-Mac, what's up, baby? Mr. VIP, I see you. Crystal B, I see you. Phil, I see you. Sir James, I can't forget about my guy. We hollered at Rams, I'm gonna holler at you again. Rams, what's good, bruh? Alex, I see you. Alex Roman, I see you. I see y'all.
Shout out to 3,000 in the chat.
Shout out to 3,000.
Let's go.
Shout out to 3,000 in the chat.
Y'all know how we
Shout out
do.
to 3,000 in the chat, bruh. Shout out to 3,000 in the chat, man. So we got a good show ahead of us tonight, man. Got some things to talk about. We're gonna talk about, one, the dollar. We gotta talk about the dollar. We gotta talk about, expectations for, we got 2 big days ahead of us. We got tomorrow after the bell, Nvidia earnings. We have economic data. Both of those are like the legs that we standing on, so we definitely got to talk about that. Belina, what's up, shorty? So we got some dope stuff to talk about. We're gonna talk about Amazon actually putting pressure on Tesla. I think that's essential. Amazon putting pressure on Tesla. That's gonna be essential. What else we got, man? We got Somebody said, can we talk about the screen behind you? What you want to talk about, family?
You know what I'm saying? Elevation every week. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah. But yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. J-Ron, what it do? I see you, family. Thank you for the super chat. You hear me? So, yep, that's what we got. King Me 305. I see you, brother. So, yeah, man, that's what we got tonight, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Yeah, let's get to it, man. I want to get straight to it.
Yeah, get that mantra popping.
Yeah, get that mantra popping, bro. I want to get straight to it, yeah? I want to get straight to it. Don't forget, December 12th, December 13th, we do have the in-person 2-day trade event where we're going to just help run you through some market structure, run you through supply demand, run you through support resistance. I got somebody dope coming with me on that. Yep, we got that coming through. All of the in-person, I told y'all they was gonna go. So all the in-person seats gone. But we do have the virtual seats available. Ashley, what's up, love? I appreciate you so much. Appreciate my girl so much. And old Chris, I see you, family. So, yep, we got that in-person event for that. Well, and I want you to know that when you come for the in-person event, I mean, when you come for the virtual part, Jose, we're going to put them on the screen, right?
We don't have that on the screen yet.
No, I'm talking about the people virtual.
Oh, yeah, we working on that.
Yeah, not that. We
yeah.
that on the screen.
Yeah, we working on that.
We're going to have them on the screen, and I want you to know that we're going to be talking to you. So you're going to be
definitely interacting.
You're going to be like, yep, I feel like, because people be like, well, I'm online, you ain't talking to me. Nope, we talking to you, asking you questions. You're going to get the workbook. You're going to fill the workbook out. So just want you to know, man, you're going to be a part of the squad, man. Got that virtual seat trap for sure. So definitely get that, man. So get your virtual seats. It's going to be amazing. Spending 2 days with us, I think, will be cool. And I think we're thinking about doing one more day, like, for, like, creating, like, a VIP where we do a one-day virtual. You don't really got to be here. You could go home, but we'll probably, like, rock out with you for the first half of the day, just on the chart, looking at the market, seeing what's going on, answering questions. I think that'd be real dope. So, yep.
For those who asking in the chat, it is WallStreetLooksLikeUsNow.com. It is in the chat. It is pinned to the top. Go ahead, hit that thing for me real quick.
Yep.
Let's get it.
Pete was saying the screen go hard. Yep, man. Man, I want to say something, man, before we get into this, man. I appreciate my team, man. My back team, Benton, the squad, Jose, Steve, Ashan. Ashan came through, clutched me the other day. Ashan's smart as hell, bro. That nigga smart, bro. That nigga smart, bro. Like, I think if he wasn't trying to be a trader, he'd be like some type of, like, geek CEO.
Yes, definitely.
Starting an AI company from the scratch.
Right.
All right, so he came through, clutched me. I'm talking about like 30 minutes. I was like, say, bro, can you do this for me? He was like, yep. Like, just tell me. I sent him the information. Before I walked back there and came back, he was like, here you go, trap. I was like, wait, hold on. I just gave you that shit, dog. He's like, yeah, bro, I use AI. And that let me know, like, so I use the AI, but I don't, like, use it. Like, he done created, I'm like, bro, how the hell? He's like, yeah, I only did, he's like, I used ChatGPT for this. And then I married it with this. Then I did this, and I said, so you took all of them? And I was like, oh, that's way too much for me.
Made her own little gumbo.
Yeah, he got his own little tech stack. Come on. Come on, my dog got his own little tech stack, you hear me? Might got to move you up in the company, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Gotta give you some type of technology position, you hear me? So I just appreciate my team, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And
we work hard.
We
work hard.
I gotta.
You definitely work
everybody play their position. So I just want to salute them for that, man. So anyway, let's go, man. Let's go with this mantra. If you're new here, welcome to the squad. If you're new here, this mantra is important for us. When we say this mantra, it is actually like us developing a new belief system, but it's also navigating our purpose. So we definitely won't get that. So let's start with that, man. So I am a certified Wall Street trapper. I'm confident in my ability to make great investments. The stock market is a machine that prints money, and I'm more than capable of operating this machine. Not only will I free myself, but my family will eat for a lifetime based on the information I apply today. I'm a money maker and a wealth builder. Today, I break all the chains that anchor me to that poverty mindset. My ancestors will smile now because I've turned our last name into an asset. My family's purchasing power will increase indefinitely. Today, I make the declaration that no longer will I be a slave to money. No longer will a generation behind me inherit lack. No longer will I submit to selling my time for money. I am a first-generation millionaire. I am the architect of my family's legacy. I am a certified Wall Street trapper, and Wall Street looks like us now. Let's go, y'all. Love it, I 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 love it.
You got your joint ready for the charts? You got that? It's looking good on there?
I gotta pull it up for you first.
Oh, okay.
I got you.
No,
before we get into that, I just want to shout out to somebody on the squad. Shout out to Bernard. Our guy just had a little one.
Salute.
Young trapper coming in the building. So my lady just said, I love you too, babe. Appreciate your support all the time. So, yep, I appreciate her support. I appreciate how you just support your boy. You know, how you be there with me. Yep. All right, so we want to shout out our guy Bernard, man. He just had a little one. You know, usually he'll be in here, he'll be rocking out with us, but you know, wifey had the little one. So, Bernard, we just want to tell you, bro, we appreciate you, bro.
He's still in the hospital working on the computer.
Bro, he don't stop. He be, bro,
He's like, yo, I need the show so I can send the email
I'm not going to lie, bro. I'm not going to lie, like, but B done kind of grew on me, you hear me?
Yeah.
He done kind of grew on me, you know what I'm saying? At first, I was like, man, this nigga, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But you remember that time we went out, us three, and you showed us, you know what I'm saying? He a different dude back in the day. He was
we went to the spot.
Yeah, he a different dude from back in the day.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We getting grown now.
Yeah, so he done kind of like, you know, he growing on me. I'm starting to appreciate what he do, you hear me? So, and you know, for me, it take a while.
Don't we all know? The fact that he said, I'm starting to appreciate, that mean a lot. That mean a lot.
You know, for me, it take a while. I be looking at you like,
man, who that?
Man, who that?
Like, bro,
man, who that?
We was just on the phone with Buddy. That's crazy.
So definitely. So, all right, let's get into it, man. Let's get to it. We got work to do, y'all. Y'all ready? Let me see in the chat. If you ready to get to work and you in the chat, say, Trap, we got work to do, right? We got work to do. We got work to do. We got work to do. I mean, here, put your ones in the chat. Put your ones in the chat if you say we got work to do. Let me know. We got work to do. Yeah, we got work to do. We got work. Let's work. Okay, January responded. Let's work. Yeah. Let's go. We got work to do. If you're new here, let's go. Let's go. All right, let's get it, man. So we're going to get on this black screen right quick before we get to these charts. We're going to get on this black screen right quick. And one of the things I like to say all the time is before we get on the chart, man, one of the things that will help you when you are charting is, oh, damn, what I just did. Shit. One of the things that will help you a lot when you charting is I want you to tell yourself this, you hear me? What is the language that I'm using when I'm charting, right? That's gonna help you out a lot. Like, what is the language that I'm using when I'm charting? So let me say this to you all about myself. I told my Patreon people this too while we was in there. So last Friday we shorted the market. We made a nice little bag. Was that last Friday? When did I go see my daughter? Week before last. And we kind of just been inside of that range right there. You know what I'm saying? So I really didn't short the market this week. Even though I saw it, I think for me, you know, like I can see it, but then it's also, if you notice what the market been doing, it would take me out of what I do. So if you notice the last couple of weeks, what the market been doing, especially if you look at the NASDAQ, and especially if you look at the S&P. So it's been kind of doing something that's real interesting. It's been coming in hot early in the morning. And then by like 12 o'clock, because it'll go a little bit into the 11 o'clock session. Around about 12 o'clock, from like 12 to 2, the market will almost reverse. And then around about 2:45-ish, 3:30, it don't flush all the way out back to opening lows, but the sellers are like step back up. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that's the type of whipsaw that I don't want to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to really be in that whipsaw. And so I try to tell my people, like, bro, like, don't just go pressing buttons, right? Like, don't go try to just, watch this. Don't go try to make $50. Oh, and I'm saying this, I'm not small talking nobody. Don't go try to make $50, $100, $200 just for your ego to say you moving around, right? Like, I would rather you say, all right, you know what? Let me understand what the hell is going on, right? I would rather you get in a couple charts, understand. So something I've been doing in the Patreon the last couple of days was, I've been just getting up in the morning, I've been saying, yo, here's this SPY, here's the QQQ, here's the levels that we looking at. Point blank period. Like, here's the levels you need to see. And the levels been holding up. Yep, if it break this is probably where it's gonna go at because it's looking for this. Do that, bounce up, boom, boom, boom. And here's why that's important, because, and I'll give them a verbal breakdown so they can understand, like, what the hell is happening. The reason being is because even though you see the when you think about this, when you see the broader market going a certain way, know that there's stocks underneath that's flipping. Because the broader market is a collective of stocks. And then when you step back, there's individual stocks that's reacting like more intensely. And so what happens is, if you can just understand the broader market, it can actually help you not panic so much about the individuals. And the reason why I say this is because, again, so like for instance, like I'm in GEV. Like yesterday, I was like, damn, I was like, man, that was good. That sucker closed above, like we in a GEV plane, you're gonna see tonight, like that sucker punched us in the face today. But yesterday, it closed above 585. We had been tweaking for it to close above 585 or 685, 585, I think. We've been tweaking for it to close above 585. Sucker closes at 588. We like, that's money. And then look, it just bottoms out. Whew. Took all that out, right? That's a whipsaw of a market, bruh, right? So for me, once I identify that, I don't have in New Orleans, and I'm gonna use this as a prime example. In New Orleans, I used to go by my people in the lower Ninth Ward. So that's like across the canal. And there's a canal. That's the Mississippi run right there, right, Joy? That's the Mississippi. But it runs through like these little bodies. And so at any given time, you could go on the levee and you can go jump in the canal. But my grandmother told me something one time, and it scared the living shit out of me. She said, don't you jump your ass in that canal, because if one of them currents take you, you're gone. I said, huh? She said, you jump your ass in that, that's the Mississippi River. It's just split. She said, if one of them currents take you, especially one of them little whirlpools, them little, what they call? If one of them suck you in, you're gone. And so what I would do was, you know how you young, you just be like, man, I can swim. You know, you young, you just got this mind that you can swim. Like, you don't really care. Man, you old, you don't know what you're talking about. I can swim. And I remember one day, me and my partner, we was throwing the rocks. You know, making them skip. And so I saw one of these whirlpools show up. It's my first time ever seeing it in person. You know, you see it in the tub when you're young. You know, you're dirty in the water. You know, you see a little dirt. You're like, that's dirty. That's crazy. Yeah? But I remember taking the 2x4 because I was intrigued and threw the 2x4 in there. That thing stood straight up and sucked it down, bro. Bro, it popped up way on the other side. I said, yep. She know what she talking about. She know exactly what she talking about. And that kept me, and George will tell you, I was a hard-headed youngin'. I drove George crazy. I'm trying any and everything, but I had common sense. And common sense said, if I threw that 2x4 in there, I'm talking about that thing stood straight, what you call, perpendicular. Good. That thing stood, and that thing was just like this. I said, hold up. How that thing stood up like that? And then it just, bro, I had never seen anything like that. In about 5 minutes, we just walking, and it just, boop. I said, oh, okay, yep. And I remember going home with a different type of like respect for what my grandmother was saying. Now, I still was bad, but that was one of the lessons that I ain't had to find out the hard way. It's one of the ones. I'm saying that to say this. The market can do the same thing to you. You sitting on the sideline and you looking at the plays that you got taking the beating. But what's happening is now in your brain, I gotta go get that back right now. And so what you go do is, my grandma used to say this to me all the time, don't let your eyes overload your, don't do it. And so here's what happened. You sitting over there, you looking, and then all it take is somebody to show you a screenshot. All it take is for you to get on Instagram and see somebody made some money. You just told yourself, man, I'm gonna go it on and sit down. I'm gonna sit, you know, my play is in the red, but I'm gonna go it on and sit it out. You know, I got some time on it. You know, let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, but guess what? Guess what? You decide to go for a swim. I'm just gonna put a little bit. Huh? Oh, man, current ain't gonna give me, I'm gonna stay close to the water. I'm gonna stay close to the wall. I'm gonna keep my hand on the wall. Now you're in the whirlwind. Hey, Trap! I'm on a sideline, cuz. I can't help you, right? And you see people like, man, you should do this. Now, here's the crazy part. The person not in the water telling you this, hey, you should do this. Hey, let me show you. Do this.
All you gotta do is,
if you look right here, you're in the whirlpool now. The current got you. And the only thing you could do now is, now here's what my grandma did tell me. She said this to me. Because she knew who I was. Like, she understood my characteristics. She said, if you do decide to jump your ass in there and one of them catch you, don't fight it. Go with it.
That's a whole sermon.
Don't fight it. Am I lying, George? She said, your chances of surviving ain't good, period. But if you go with it, it's a good chance it's gonna take you and spit you out. If you fight it, it's gonna wear you out. And that's what happens. You in that water knowing you should have stayed on the side. But you, watch this, you tweaking for a screenshot. You tweaking to prove to the people in your group chat. You tweaking to prove to the people who keep telling you what that Bitcoin doing now, what them stocks doing now, what them futures doing now. You tweaking to show somebody that you ain't getting hit in this market instead of saying, hey, yep, bitch, punching on me right now. Catch me in 60 days. I'll let you. I'm all right. So anyway.
Tweaking for a screenshot is a bar. Like
tweaking for a screenshot.
That's crazy.
Man, people tweaking for a screenshot, cuz. And I'm not talking about nobody specific. I'm talking about the new mindset that, watch this. This the energy that social media has put on new traders. You gotta show that you always profitable. You gotta show that you always getting money. You gotta show that you always doing this. Bro, I could care less about showing you anything. Every week I get up here and show you wins and losses. I showed you. I made $1 million in the play. I'm cool. I showed you. We did $860,000 in 6 weeks to get this building. I showed you. We put a stage up here. Multiple 7-figure earners, multiple 5-figure earners, multiple 6-figure earners. Bro, I'm not gonna show you nothing. My goal is to navigate, help my people navigate. Bro, we gonna take some L's. I was showing Sean something this weekend about one of my mentors. And he said to me, and I told Sean this, he said he had one of his students lost 27 trades in a row. Did I tell you that, Sean? Did I tell you that?
No, you didn't.
Maybe I was talking to Rob. I showed the screenshot to Rob.
Yeah.
27 trades in a row. He was in the World Series of trading. So they trade all year to get the end result. Lost 27 trades in a row. I did tell you that, Sean, because you know why when I told you? We got to keep the losses small.
Oh, that guy.
That's when I told you that.
Yeah, and then he got the big win.
And he got the big.
Yeah. Okay.
Lost.
Now he remember.
It's okay. I'm going to refresh your memory. Right? 27 trades in a row in the World Series Trading Championship in the $1 million part. Still finished with a 443% return. 27 trades in a row. $27 trades in a row. Bro, if you show anybody on Instagram you lost 27 trades in a row, they gonna say you don't know what the hell you talking about.
Right.
Man, they don't know what he doing, man. Who the hell loses 27 trades in a row?
But you know what we're gonna say? When he get that big win, oh, he got lucky.
Oh, he got lucky.
Yep.
He got lucky and got 443% and came second place in the world trade.
Everybody got an excuse for not being excellent.
That's how I go, bro. That's how I go. All right? This the only game where you gotta always try to prove to people that you always winning. When in reality, bro, that just ain't it. You got people that's been trading for 3 months. Yep, I'm teaching trading now. I've been profitable for it. I consistently make, bro, like I get it. I'm not mad at it. But I just be wanting people to know that, bro, like this game is a game that it will dominate you if you reckless. What's the purpose of winning $10,000 if you're gonna double right back and lose 20,000? This game is about compounding wins. That's what it's about. Compounding wins, bro. So you can't get a loss and be like, bro, I'm cooked. Yep. The minute you say I'm cooked, you done said something in your brain. That's almost a defeat. Believe it or not, ooh, it's about to be good. Man, I got to get to the show. Watch this. Watch this. The little things that you tell yourself in this game become rooted in your philosophy. So if you be like, damn, dog, like I'm cooked on this bitch right here, guess what? That becomes, that little thing right there make you be timid for the next play you gotta make. Right? If you gonna be like, bro, man, I took that L, yep, I'm keep going, bro. I told Sean this, I said, say, bro, like, I was talking to him earlier. I said, say, bro, like, so we was talking, and I said, bro, I never knew how I would feel. I didn't know I didn't know I was capable of losing 1.5 million until I lost 1.5 million. It took me 6 months to get it back. But I didn't say I'm about to get it all back at one time. Immediately, I knew if I went in with that mindset, trying to hit a home run every time, that 1.5 was going to turn to 2.5. I said, no, we get this back little by little. Because here's what's got to happen in this game. Watch this, and I'm going to get on by my business. Watch what I'm about to say right here. The small wins build your confidence after a loss. Don't go try to bat it out the park because you took a L. It's the small, take profits here, boom. If y'all notice, after I lost the 1.5 mil, what I went to saying, hey, I'm 30%, I'm taking a profit. It wasn't because I was scared, it's because I understood I need the small wins along the journey to help rebuild me. It gotta rebuild me. That's the biggest loss I ever took. I still ain't scared of the market. I still ain't scared of the game. But now it's about, hey, build the confidence up, bro. Because if you don't, you're going to be triggered and you're not going to have the same, like, vision that you had before. So just small win. Pop, let me get 20% here. Pop, let me get 30% here. Pop, let me get 40% here. I take an L, but I feel good because now you get 4 or 5 trades in a row. You take an L, you're like, shit. All right, bet. Then what happened? We get down from 1.5 to a million. You like, hey, shit, I done hit. All right now. Then you go from a million. I'm telling Sean, like, nigga, I'm at 750. I'm halfway through this joint. So you gotta take them little bitty wins, be what build your confidence back. And I don't care who you is. If you come off the big L and you try to start swinging for the fences again, you're not even focused. Your emotion has overwhelmed you. And I'm gonna say this before I go into this chart. I was telling Belina this earlier. We was kind of having a conversation inside of the chat. And I said, so one of the guys, Rudy, my guy, he's from Canada. He was like, damn, bro, I can't come back over here to 2028. He said, man, Trap, then you say you got to lose something to do something. And Belina was like, man, Trap ain't say no shit like that. It was like, you got to lose 1 million to make 10 million, something like that I had said. And no, he said, man, Trap said he can't wait till he lose 10 million. And Belina was like, man, ain't no way in the world Trap said that. You know, she be like, man, Trap my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rock with Trap. You know what I mean? And I like her progress. She be killing it. And she was like, ain't no way in hell Trap said that shit. I said, I did. I said, but let me give you context. I said, because I was studying Bill Ackman, it changed that's what changed my perspective on losing in the market. He lost $400 million on a Netflix play. And the minute he sold the play, I remember the tweet, he was like, damn, I gotta cut Netflix. He tweeted it. A week later, but he the same person that took 27 million and turned it into 2.2 billion. It's a 9,000% return on one trade, right? It's documented. But before that, in 2012, he lost $1 billion on Herbalife. That's when him and Carl Icahn was getting into it. So imagine losing $1 billion in your fund in 2012, taking small wins, doing your thing, and then you get the opportunity and you turn 27 million into 2.2 billion. This is what makes you one of the greatest players of the game. But then you follow suit some years later and lose 400 million on a play. Guess what, yo? Guess what that told me? Immediately that told me, oh, cool. Like, you got it. No matter who you are, you take L's. And watch this. The size of the L's change depending on how much you got at stake. And so Bellini was like, man, that nigga was gambling. I say, no, I don't really think he was gambling. It's hard to tell me you gambling when you got a hedge fund. You got a different set of principles, you got a different set of, and you've been in the game for a long time. You don't win against one of the greats, Carl Icahn. He one of the greats of this game. You stood toe-to-toe with him and like, man, I don't care what you talking about. And this one, Carl had that. He was a bully in the game. You against you. And so that changed my perception on losses. It was like, all right, and so what I told him was, I was like, imagine where my account gotta be at for me to lose 10 million and be okay with it. Imagine where I gotta be at from a market perspective to be like, damn, I took a $10 million L. Because imagine where he was at to take a $1 billion L for his fund. Imagine how big the fund was for him to still be in the game. Imagine how big the fund was for him to lose 400 million and shake that off and still be in the game. And he not broke, and he still keep getting more and more clients. Imagine that. And so I think that's just, you know, just perspective on how we play the game. All right, let me get to what I got to get to. Jose, I was ranting.
Nah, it was good, bro.
You good, bro?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. And we about to be at 4,000. So go ahead and share this out to everybody. Obviously, y'all liking what we talking about right here.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right, so one of the things I want to do right quick is I want to take us here. All right. All right, how y'all feeling in the chat, man? Hey, Ackman on the phone. Bellini, what's good, love? This is my shorty do out right there, man. I rock her, dog. She a gangster. She a gangster. I like people that got some fire about themselves. You know what I'm saying? I like people that got that. Because you got to have an attitude to play this game, bro. You got to have a little attitude about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because whether you believe it or not, bro, like, and I know y'all ready for me to get to this chart, and I am. Is it still on, or am I off? Probably off. It's off? You gotta have some attitude about yourself, because this market gonna make you be a savage. This shit, I'm gonna tell you something. This market, the market gonna either turn you to a savage or it's gonna turn you to a cur. You know what a cur is, Jose?
Heck nah.
You don't know what a cur is?
Nah.
A cur is when a dog tuck their tail. So I grew up, not gonna say that.
Thank you, Holy Spirit. Say,
That was good. I caught it. Ball. I almost put myself in a bind.
Right, locked in on you, too. Trim that out, Jose.
I almost put myself in a bind. Matter of fact, I don't even want to revisit that one. All right, let's get to this damn chart. Yes, sir. I don't. Sheesh. I almost put us in a bind. Whoa.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Some other time.
I really need this.
Man. God. Damn. Thank you, God. She be with me when I... All right. All right, so let's go to this, man. Let's go off. All right, so let's go here. Here we go. Let's go, y'all. Get on a SPY. I want you to get on your SPY. Start off on your weekly chart. All right, let's start off on a weekly chart just so we can see. All right, so just out the gate, here's what we know. We know out the gate that we have, let's put this on right quick. And one of the things we're going to do when you come to the portfolio, I'm saying portfolio, when you come to the...
Two-day workshop.
Two-day workshop.
Or the virtual joint, yep.
Or the virtual. One of the things we're going to teach you how to do is set your... we're gonna teach you how to set up your trade view. Now, we're not gonna teach you how to set your account up. We definitely gonna teach you how to set your trade view up because I think that's important for you. I think one of the issues that people have is just, I think once you know how to set your trade view up, I just feel like that's gonna help you out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll know how to navigate the charts. So let's do that right quick. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do right now, we like to use the 50, we like to use the 20 because that gives us an idea of who we're in control on the short term. Tells us who has control. So first thing we're gonna look at is right quick. So we're gonna look at 4 things right quick just on the weekly. The weekly tells us the overall trend, right? So the overall trend is up on the weekly. So that means the bigger trend is up. So bigger trend, think macro. You know, one of the things I say is like being on the interstate. Bigger trend is still up, but you do have downside weakness. If you look at these last 4 candles, that tells us that once we hit all-time high, we saw that some buyers could have gotten trapped at all-time high. They had the objective, as you can tell, just based on right now, you had an indecision week once we hit all-time high, and then selling pressure stepped up. That selling pressure is confirmed when we look at the volume at the bottom. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of high volume on the seller side. So that tells you that sellers are participating. Now, something interesting that you see is on this week currently, out of all of those weeks, this week we have not just a candle under candle opening, we also have a close beneath the previous candle. That in itself tells us about the participation that the sellers have done so far going into this week. That tells us like they kind of stepped it up a little bit more, right? Because you have a candle that opened this week below the previous week's close. So I'm gonna say that again. The candle we looking at now, the last candle that we see, that's right above that 20-day SMA, it opened below last week's close, and so far it is closed beneath that, right? So it's not a doji, it's actually a short body candle. Watch this, it's a short body candle with volume, right? So it's a short body candle with some added volume that tells us that sellers are participating in this downside pressure. Now, also inside of this, what we see that it is now sitting on top of that SMA 20, which also tells us that on the weekly perspective, the buyers need to try to defend that. So we see that little wick at the bottom. That tells us that the buyer's like, hey, bro, like we got to try to hold this, right? So then that becomes a sense, almost like a, I don't want to really say support, but almost like a demand shelf. I'll say that, right? So it's a little bit different. Support means multiple touches. A demand shelf is more like, but I will say this, if you look at this, you almost do have that. Watch this. I'm gonna show y'all something that's real interesting. So notice that 652, so we actually can call that support. Here's why. Notice the orange line that I just marked off. It actually is a close on that red candle above, right on the red candle that I brung it to, right? And then the next week, they pushed it back down to that. Both of those actually align with the SMA 20, so we can call that a support on the overall trend. So you can say that 652 on an overall trend is support, and you can see that sellers are applying pressure to that support. So we can just see that right there, right? We can just see right there. You don't have to go any further. You can see that. It's clear as day. This is not me saying, yeah, I'm a brilliant. I'm seeing something that nobody else can show you. This is clear as day. It's clear as day that we can see that. So the next thing we're going to do is just right quick, we're going to take that off because we're going to have to use this for something. We're going to come in now and do this because this is going to be important. We're going to mark out our previous week high. We're going to turn it white because we got it on dark. All right. And then, God damn it. There we go. All right, so we're going to mark that so we can see it. Let's move that up a little bit. And then we're going to mark out the previous week low. All right, that's going to be important for us. So now we can see right now, based off what we see right here, we see that today's close put us below the previous week low, which now tells us that, watch what I'm about to say here, that previous week's low, that line right there, beneath that line is what's called clusters, which means that buyers use that as a form of support. So they will put their stops right at previous week's low, right? Saying, hey, if it hit here, just stop me out. Well, now that the market has pushed past that, the market now takes that money and use it for downside liquidity pressure, meaning you can call that sell side liquidity, meaning they take those orders and instead of using those orders to push up, it takes those orders and use that as fuel to go down. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? All right, cool. Let's go a little further. All right. Yeah, I know I could use them templates, bro. I be having it. Sometimes I just be in my mode. So we still gonna mark that out. Now the next thing we're gonna do is gonna come right here. We're gonna mark the previous day's high, which was here, and we're gonna talk about what happened today. We're gonna change the color on that. So let's just change it to blue. And then we're gonna type that out. Previous day's high. Boom. And now we're gonna just talk about what happened today. Then we're gonna mark here, boom, and we're gonna go previous day low, right? So we just talking about what happened today. All right, so now that we got that marked out, here's what we know. If we go through this now, look what we see. Something interesting out the gate. What do we see? We see that selling pressure did what? Pick up on the daily. So now we have what's called a time frame misalignment already. Why do we have a time frame misalignment? Because the weekly says something from the daily. The weekly says that we above our SMAs. Our daily says we below our SMAs. So that's a time frame misalignment, right? So immediately that says, hold up, right? Because what we want is if we're going to be long-term swing traders, if we're going to be position traders, the thing that works in your favor is having time frame alignment, right? That's one of the confluences, mean things working together that you want to see at the same time. All right, so what we have right here is we have all-time high. Let's look at it. We have all-time high. Look at the screen. We have all-time high. From all-time high, we saw sellers take control. We saw some trap sellers get in, what's called late buyers that came in. You can see that doji candle before we got to all-time high. Before we got to all-time high, we saw some people probably saw that run up. They jumped in. They got late. Boom. Market goes down. You get those 3 red candles in a row, which solidifies selling pressure. So those buyers they did get trapped, but after they got trapped, they either got out, which added to the downside pressure, or they're still holding on. But if they have been holding on, they've been holding on for a long time inside of that SPY play. From there, you see, we'll just go straight all the way down. You go all the way down, you see that green, this bar right here, which was interesting, right? We see that. What happened right there, you had a lot of downside pressure, and then you saw buyers absorb that downside pressure, push that up. Now, that's interesting because that long tail at the bottom, called a bottom tail, that long tail shows us that buyers actually absorbed those orders and took control. That gave us momentum. If you look what it does on the chart, it aligns right here. That what gave us the gap up. We got that gap up, boom. That indication right there tells us something that's so key. that tells us that buyers took control. They were like, hey, this is our opportunity. So the buyers absorbed all of those sell orders. It absorbed all of those sell orders, took that money, and did what's called buy side. They took those orders, used those orders to go up to the top. That's why we get the gap up coming into that Monday. We ran up Monday to previous week's high. That's when you get that, and the buyer stepped in, seller stepped in and said, hell no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So then you get the sell-off, right? You get that. Then you get strong selling pressure. Selling pressure breaks the SMA 20. Once they break the SMA 20, immediately, that tells us, that's the blue line, that tells us immediately that sellers have taken over the short-term trend. Notice something here that happens that solidifies that. You know what solidifies that? Now you get what's called a lower high and a lower low. So now you get a lower high and a lower low, you say, oh, okay. Then from there, look what you get. You get now sellers are stepping up. How do we confirm that? We look at the volume. Volume picks up. Sell side volume picks up. That tells us, and that's confirming to us, that the major structure is being threatened. Right? Y'all see how I'm talking through this? I'm talking y'all through it, so I'm letting you hear the language that I'm using. So I'm not just saying this candle did that, this candle did that. I'm giving you a language, so the language in which you say tells you how you communicating with what's going on. Right? That communication is what helps you understand. You don't got to see every candle, because every candle, like, I'm not trying to identify every single thing that's going on. What I am trying to identify is major footprints in the sand. The major footprints in the sand tell you a lot more than just a bunch of dojis taking place or just a bunch of misaligned candles. Those major footprints in the sand tell us something. And how that happens is, once we identify those previous week's high, previous week's lows, that gives us a box that we can operate in. And if we can operate inside that box, that's good. So the next thing I want to show you is something that's really important, because this was important. So remember, if we look left, we notice something. This is interesting. Why does this make sense when we come back to the other side? Because that was the top of the Trump sell-off. So you remember when Trump said he reinstating tariffs on China? That was this day right here. That was an interruption of the trend. That's going to always be key for you. What happened that caused a major interruption of the trend? Or I like to call it a trend crash. Like, what made the trend crash? There's a crash on I-95. There's a crash on I-10. There's a crash on, right? What caused a major interruption of the trend? And that was it. Because notice, you had a nice stage 2 happening. It was a higher high was followed by a higher low. Always remember that on your journey. In order for a higher high to be confirmed, it has to be confirmed off of a what? Higher low. Why? Because the higher low becomes the base that it steps on to go higher. Like a trampoline. I went up. It got to step on that to go higher. So what was the crash? What was the crash in the trend that caused friction? It's always going to be one of those. It's always going to be one of those. And we noticed that was the one. That huge institutional footprint that just stick out like a sore thumb. Right? Always mark that off, because that becomes pressure. So if we on the right side of it, if we look back and we look at that, we say, ooh, there's a lot of supply right there. That's when supply got distributed to the market. Right? So that's a key intersection. Right? That's a key intersection on your chart that will always be important until we get so far right where it no longer, it's disregarded, because we've gotten so far to the right, which means we've gotten so far past that distribution and that supply into the market. Does that make sense to everybody? Put a 1 in the chat if we understand that. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. Like, I be understanding when they be saying change of character and all that. I just be liking to say somebody took, like control just got taken from. Somebody just took over the block. Because, but in retrospect, it does make sense. Change of character, the character of the market changed. But for me, I like to put in a street term. Oh, somebody just took the block over. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they just took over the block, right? Well, when you saw this was a huge, now I want you to understand why this, I'm about to say something that's gonna be so pivotal. I want you to understand why that candle is so important. Watch this. From that candle, you took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. That one candle took out 24 days of progress. That's why that candle is so important. That's a train wreck. You feel me? Anytime one candle causes that much disturbance, think about it. It took 24 days to build up to that. One candle took out 24 days of progress. That is a train wreck. You need to understand that. Right? And I know you probably never looked at it like that. Right? But that's how you be like, oh, I got to pay attention to this. One candle took out 24 days of upward progress. So that becomes an anchor on your chart. You cannot disregard that. Here's why. That is 100% an institutional footprint right there. If you ever want to know what an institutional footprint look like, that's it. That's a train wreck. And so now what has to happen is the market now has to struggle to get past that. Because that institutional train wreck just put a bunch of supply back in the market. Come on. We trapping right here? And this the type of thing we're going to walk through when we get here. Shout out to 4,000 people in the chat. Jose, the chat said you sleeping, dog. But I get it. You into the story. Oh, you working? You always working. Let me tell my story. All right, let's get to it. Stupid question here, sorry. So long. So a long candle represents heavy volume. Well, yes and no. A long candle doesn't represent heavy volume, because that means you're saying now that long candle represents this. No, actually, watch this. The heavy volume actually confirms what the long green candle or red candle is doing. The volume lets you know that there's a presence right there, right? So watch this. That candle like that is not me and you. See those little candles? Those little candles can be retail traders that's doing a little bit here, because institutions could be on the side chilling like, yeah, I'll put a couple million here, a couple million there. But those little candles can be me and you, us retailers being active. We got enough money to make little candles on the chart, right? Like our money plus a little institution can create a little candle. But a big red candle like that, that is not us. That ain't Tim and Jim and Bob and Trap and Peanut and Sean and my dog. No. That's Black Rock. That's Paul Tudor Jones. That's Carl Icahn. You know what I'm saying? That's big dogs saying, hey, out of here. Right? So that's big dogs right there. All right, so let's go a little further. So notice how that aligns with a previous day's high. Let me tell you why that's important. Notice how that aligns with previous day's high. Because now that becomes a staple that if we ever fall into that candle always will become a staple that you will have to get back over. Because that still is choppy water that supplied the market. And look how close it is. So we haven't got so far right. Like, that's a block away. That's not 10 miles away. That's a block away. And notice that that one candle took out 24 days of uptrend. So that means there's a lot in the market right there. Yep, that supply came because it took out a whole bunch of stops at one time, 100%. It took out a whole bunch of stops, everything, 24 days. It took it all out. All right, so let's go a little further. So now we know that that became you say, hey, we got to get back above that. So notice how we got to that twice and fell back down. 2 times it got rejected. The first time it got rejected was Friday. In the Patreon, I was like, ooh, we done got it on top of that. That was the thing I kept saying in the Patreon. We got on top of it, y'all. I just need us to close on top of it. End of the day, seller said, hell no, I ain't letting y'all close on top of that. Because if you close on top of this, now you get momentum. So this is what it did. It did an armed robbery. They had some stops right there. It got up there, took those stops, and used that as sell-side liquidity to push us right back down. Notice the word I use, sell-side, meaning the market took those orders as stops because you had some people, some sellers that said, hey, if it get above this, they gonna go up. So here's how the market fake you out. Because the market always needs, watch this. Ooh, this is about to be so good when I say this. The market is always hunting new money so it can move in a specific way, right? So it's always looking for new money. So one of the things it looks for, this is why the previous day high, previous day low, previous week high, previous week low. The reason why those are important is because they don't represent liquidity itself. It represents there's liquidity. Watch this word I'm gonna use. There are stop clusters right behind it. Because these are key areas that specifically new investors and smaller institutions, so there's different levels to institutions, they use those areas to put stop losses to protect themselves. And in most cases, they use really tight stop losses, and I'm not mad at that because the name of the game is to preserve the capital. So what the market will do is say, yep, I know there's stop losses right here. I know there's stop losses right here. And if you use that horizontal trend line, it's like, hey, we got stop losses right here. So in one swoop, it can take out a horizontal stop and it can take out a horizontal and a diagonal stop all at once. Use that money to go right back down. Am I making sense right here? Am I making sense or am I talking above people's head? Like, I want to make sure, and I still want to do, I still wanted to do Netflix. God damn. All right. How you feel, Jose? We all right? I can keep cooking? All right, cool. I got to ask my team if I can keep cooking, y'all. Damn it.
In the back, man. Hey,
B, let me work, B.
We cooking. Let them cook.
Let me work. All right, so we making sense? All right. Belina said Christmas candle. Ain't no Christmas bet. Shout out to Flies. All right, so here we go. So today, now, a couple things happen right here. What happened now that we push below that is, remember, also I kept saying, yo, if we can get above, as long as we can protect, I was like, yo, we need to protect that 50-day. Well, what happened today? We pushed past the 50-day, and then watch this. I mean, yesterday we pushed past the 50-day, and we got to last week's low. Watch what the market did. This is so good. Watch what they did in one day. Look what it did in one day. In one day, look what it did. So the previous week's low was 663. In one day on Monday, look what it did. It went down, took the liquidity from previous day's low, buyers pushed, absorbed that, got us back up, and they got the liquidity on top of previous day's high, all in one day. Does that make sense? Right? So remember we talked about previous day high, previous day low. In one day, the market killed 2 of them in one stone and then decided, yep, the seller's still in control. So here's what they did. They took previous day's high out, they took previous day's lows out, and watch this. they also broke the SMA 50, so you also have a set of investors that use that as their stop as well. So in one day, the market did that. Gotcha. Give me all that. Give me all that. I need that. I need you, and I need y'all. One candle did all that. But this is why I say, when you start noticing the type of market we in, Jose, am I still good on the screen? All right. You say, hey, this ain't the type I want to play in because I'm too close to too many confluences. I'm too close to too many things, and I know the market is always searching for liquidity, and I'd rather just be under a little pressure than not be new liquidity that lets the market go one way or the other. I'd rather just be under a little pressure. I'd rather be under a little pressure than be upside liquidity, downside liquidity, and like, bro, like, that's one of them days where you say, I try to short the market, damn, I lost. I try to long the market, damn, I lost. And trust me, there's been days like that. You try to go short, I'll kill you. You try, shut up, gotcha, bow, gotcha here, bow, gotcha here, sit down. And now you just like, man, bro, I can't win no kind of way. Sit down, sit down. Damn, bro, I go with the market, I lose. I go against the market, I lose. Stop jumping in the water. The current gonna take your ass under. It's gonna take you under. Sit down somewhere. Listen, you gotta be comfortable, y'all, with just stepping back like, hey, I'm good. Yup, I'm under a little pressure. I ain't tripping, but I don't want no part of this. I need the market to give me a clear sign on how I want to operate. Instead of having, watch this, instead of having style fatigue where you trying to jump from style to style. Now you got style fatigue. I'm a swing trade. I'm going to try to day trade right here and make $50. All right, bet. You made the $50 only to come to the mall, try to day trade again and take $100 from you. You tripping. Now you mad at the swing trade and the short trade. And the problem with that is now you don't know what to study to make you better. You trying to run from the loss so much, you can't focus on what to study to make you better. All right, let me go a little further so we can end this right quick. All right, so basically what happens today is we break that, and then what happens is, now the key in the sand for me is this line right here. And the reason why this is important for me at 652 is because you have a equal low right here, which is the bottom of the trunk. So this is, watch this, this is this becomes a macro structure shift. Somebody is now 100% taking over the block on a larger time frame. Now, they've already taken over the block on the hourly. If you look on the hourly chart that I just switched to, they've already taken over. You can see it. This is a downtrend, 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 right? On the 4 hour, taking over. You see the and I'm gonna tell you something right quick. When you look at this, notice how the 50-day is sloping and the 20-day is in a full-fledged, like, hump. That tells you we downtrend. Once your SMAs start turning down in the way of the trend, you know for a fact that that trend has changed on that chart, right? If you go on the 4 hour, you see that the 50-day is still up, but it's under, but you see the 20-day is sloping. So that tells us there's still some fight there. There's still a little fight there because the 50 hasn't slumped yet, right? Even though it's underneath it, and that tells us that short-term they're in control, but it isn't a full-fledged reversal on the 4 hour. Does that make sense? And so what you have on the daily is almost the same thing. Right? You see on the daily, you see your 20 is still up, you see your 50 is still up, but you see your 20 starting to hook. So these are just the nuances that you like looking at like, damn, all right, cool. These are the little nuances that make you better as you play the game, right? So it's learning slight things, little bitty things that say, okay, like, damn, okay, the 50 is still up, the 20 is still up, but I see that 20 like that joint hooking. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back, and I'm going to just kill it with this right here. I was going to do Netflix, but we got a whole lot of stuff to go with, so I ain't going to really get into that. My bad, y'all. Like, Benton really go crazy about do that. Like, yeah, we got one more chart to go. Like, no, cancel the show. I had Netflix ready, you know what I mean? But I ain't gonna do it. All right, so here we go. The 652 is 100%. For me, that 652.91 is 100% what we would call, it's an equal low, but it's also support. It's not a demand shelf because we got 2 touches. It's a support. Buyers gotta stay here. Buyers gotta say, I can't do Meta. We got a whole show. I can't do nothing else. I'll probably do Meta for the Patreon in the morning. You dig? But 652 tells us, now 652, now think about this too as well. The structure has to change before the SMAs change. Right? The SMAs won't change before the structure. This is why most people like using the EMAs, because they are closer to real time than the SMAs. The SMAs got a little bit more lag to them, meaning soon as a candle change, the EMA be changing with it. The SMAs be like, give me, you gotta do something else for me. You know? The SMA be like, prove it. The EMA be like, yep, I'm going with you. Like the EMAs follow along. So that's why most people use the EMAs, because the EMAs, they don't lag as much as the SMAs. The EMAs kind of go turn for turn, whereas the SMAs be like, no, prove it. Prove it to me. Prove it. Shoot another candle out there, you know? So here's what we got to go right here. Yep, somebody said, yep, I use the EMAs. Yes, sir, I need that. Good. Just want y'all to see that we on it, right? So we cannot deny that the sellers are in control. Why? Because we have lower highs and lower lows, 100%. Also, what tells us that the sellers are in control, we under the 50-day and the 20-day. Also, what tells us that sellers are in control, we've broke previous week low, we've closed below previous week low and previous day's low. So short-term trend on the overall trend, sellers are definitely applying a lot of pressure. We at 660 right now, 652.91. We break that. We are in 100% a downtrend on all 3 time frames for me. Now, if you look at your 15-minute, it's probably, the 15-minute is communicating the same thing that the hourly is communicating. The 4-hour and the daily are communicating the same thing, right? Well, we still have some, you know, like, because I'm just not I'm not biased, but I like to see what I like to see. I never make the chart say what I want it to say. I see what it says and I interpret what I see on it. So you have that turn right there taking place. So for me, 652, you 100% in a downtrend. And I want to put this out here right quick if I can. I think I had something wrote out that I just wanted to tell y'all. Where is that? Damn. Let me see something. So I want to say 6. Damn, I just had this. I had this on my folder. Okay. Yep, I had wrote this down on my folder. It's on top of my head. So currently the S&P is in a 4.3%, no, 3. Where I wrote it at? Currently the S&P is in a 4% pullback. The NASDAQ is in a 6.8% pullback from all-time high. S&P, if you get to, I want to say, what that was, 6, let me just pull it up again, because I don't want to mislead you. I had it wrote out and I just can't see it. I don't have a number. All right. So, yep. So here's what you got. 620 would be a 10% pullback. So if you get to 620, that would be your 10% pullback. And if you get to 551, that would be your 20% pullback. So just want to put that on you, right? I want to put that on you. So if you get to if you're looking for a 10% pullback, this is your 10% pullback right here. 620 would be your 10% pullback, and that'll bring you right here to that low right there. So that will bring you back to August 1st. That will bring you back to August 1st. That will be your 10% pullback. And 5, just so y'all can know, $551 would be your 20% pullback. So that's your 10 and your 20. If you're looking for that, and I'm gonna give you exact coordinates on it. $551.20 would be your 20% pullback, and that'll bring you right back to April 30th. Yep, so that would bring you. So if you're looking for a 10% pullback, so right now the S&P is having a 4% pullback right now, so it's not even 5%, but 4% pullback. 620 would give you, 620.10 would give you a, which would be that candle. And here's the dope part about looking at that we really can pay attention to. That would be the candle that started this whole move upward, right? So if we look at that, from all-time high, this 620, this would be the candle that took all that. So that means we would have took away all that, and now we in supply mode. So this candle would be the candle that took us to all-time high. This one right here, this was the base that took us to all-time high. So if you're looking for a 10% pullback, you look at 620. If you're looking for a 20% pullback, you're looking at 551. Right? So that's what you're looking at. So anyway, that's what I got for y'all. I'm not going to bring up Netflix. I was going to do Netflix for us, but we've been on that for like an hour almost. So I don't want to hit bent mouth, you hear me? So, so let's get to it, man. I hope y'all liked it. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope y'all like it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all learned a lot from it. You know, my goal is to not be biased, even though I am bearish. I mean, I am bullish about the market, but one of the things that I will never do is deny what the market is telling me. So yeah. That's what I got for y'all. Jose sleep. He got a Sharpie on his eyelids. We with you, Trap.
Bruh, they shooting. They don't.
They shooting at you tonight, dog. They shooting at you tonight, dog.
Everything I'm doing back here, but it's all good. We good. I love.
Let's go, man.
I love all the trappers.
I hope y'all like that. Hope y'all like that. Hope y'all like that. So, anyway, let's get to it, man. We gotta show the people all this blood we got. You hear me? Yep. Dang, I should have said one more thing. I should have looked to see if it was below the 200-day. All right, man, let's look at this blood, man. Let's look at this goddamn blood. All right, so the ASML trade killing us. The AVGO trade was up to date and it fell. Costco killing us. GEV. I'm going to tell y'all something about the GEV play, man. I literally got $500,000 in that play. I got $500,000 on that play. The Google play we put in, I kind of want to take the profits on it, but I'm going to just let it ride out. Goldman Sachs, good looking today. Meta, I'm going to tell y'all something, bro. Like, I'm not going to lie. So, Patreon. Man, I was going to do something today, but I was having a problem with my Patreon. Jose, did you have a problem with Patreon when you logged in today?
There was a slight one in regards to posting. Yeah, it was. It looked like it was it's been a service situation.
Yeah, I had an issue today because I'm not gonna lie. What I was gonna put in the Patreon today was I want to tell y'all something. I was gonna average down into this January play just to bring the average down, and then what happens is if you bring the average down, we ain't got to so much focus on the 800. Now we focus on the premium that we paid for it, and then the premium goes up. So I might do it tomorrow. I might wait till after Nvidia. But I do want average down on that play just to bring our cost basis down. This will be our second time averaging down into this. So I do want to do that. Let's go a little
You
further.
think it's that Cloudflare thing, though?
Could be. I don't know. Maybe having so much going on. Yeah,
crazy.
Cloudflare. I was just having a hard time. I tried it like 6 times.
Yeah.
I was like, because every time I get to the post part, it was like, can't do it. I was like,
thought
bro,
it was
but you
my
let me
Wi-Fi.
talk in the chat.
Right.
I'm talking in the chat, but I can't make the post. I was like, man, what the hell? So anyway, yeah, let's go a little further. Netflix actually doing great. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of cool. Netflix actually doing great. It rallied, so that was good. Nvidia down, Palantir down, Spotify down, STX down, Tesla down, UNH, Visa down. I'm kind of getting smoked right now, not gonna lie. But I ain't really tripping, dog, like, because everything out till January, February, March, I think we can navigate. This would be all right. I think the Spotify play probably be I don't want average down into that. Every time we try to get up, it goes back down. But that's how I feel, man. Like, I ain't really tripping on it. I think I am under pressure, can't lie. The UNH, the only play that I really want to cut, I'm not gonna lie, is UNH. That's the only one I really want to cut, because I just don't believe in it no more. Where MU, we got out of MU last week, love. We took the profits on MU. Yeah, that shit bloody. That shit bloody. That shit bloody. I ain't gonna lie. But I ain't scared of it, shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll stand tall in it. I'll stand in mine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, but we got out of CrowdStrike last week. I took the profits on CrowdStrike last week. Now, I'm interested in getting into the CrowdStrike. I mean, not CrowdStrike. I'm interested in getting back in MU. I'm interested in getting back in... I'm gonna tell you something. I really want to get back in Meta under 590, because it is the most oversold company right now. Let me show you something right quick. Jose, you mind doing it one more time on the, what you call it? I just want to show them something right quick. So go to my chart right quick again. I'm going to pull it up again. I want to just show them something. I know Benton, you know, I got you, Benton. I got you, Benton. Damn, I went to Sean. I want to show y'all something right quick. All right, let me show y'all something. I'm ready. I'm good, huh? I'm good? Yep, I want to show them something right quick. I want to show them something right quick that I think is going to be interesting for them to see. So if you know me, you know I love stockchart.com. If you took the options masterclass, you know that somebody say I fuck around and be in Nvidia all or nothing. James, don't you do that, man. So I want to show y'all something. So y'all know I love stockcharts.com. If you took the first options masterclass, like, you know for a fact, like, this be my go-to. You know what I'm saying? So it's a couple things that I look for on here. One of the things I look at for sure is the RSI, all right? And so anytime, if you look back way over here, you see that super oversold, like, I'll get out of something like that because it's super oversold. Notice Meta was never oversold, but notice that big dip it took at the bottom right here. But if you look right here, so if you don't know about RSI, so anything above 70 is oversold, anything below 30, anything above 70 is overbought, and anything below 30 is oversold. And so one of the things that can be something important for you to always look at. So I always go to stockcharts.com and use this. But look at the bottom right there. You see Meta at 24.70. Now, the interesting part about this is where your rules got to come in at, right? And your rules going to be important for you. So the only time that I would buy something under its 200-day moving average is if I'm going to put a leap on it. Right? Not a 3-month, not a 4-month, not a 5-month. It's probably gonna be something like 9 months or more. If I buy something under the 200-day moving average, and it gotta be oversold. Now, if you look at this chart, on here, look at all that selling pressure. Now, I'll be honest, and I told my Patreon people this, it's very rare that I get trapped like I got trapped in Meta, right? It's very rare. Like, I don't be getting trapped like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened with BBAI, we been got out of that. So what happened with Meta was, we was down on that plate, then the week before earnings, it rallied on us. So we got all the way up to 758. We went into earnings up 10% on the play. Earnings, this thing fell 15, this thing fell $100. At that point, we was trapped. And you got to make the decision right there. The decision is, do you get out right there and just say, I'm cool with being out? Or you say, all right, let me see what's going to happen. I decided not to get out on it. You know what I'm saying? Because we was just in it. And I'm like, yo, we got, 60 days left or something like that. Thing fell for another 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, God damn. So, you know what I'm saying? Really just, we got trapped in that play. I'll take that with a, I take that one to the head. You know what I'm saying? We got trapped in that joker and, I think it fell from 750. Look, you look at the chart on top, those three counters, it was at 758. So we was back where we needed to be at. And you can see it formed the base at the top. I wish I could draw on it. It formed the base. So that's a base coming from, it came down, it formed that base, and then it shot up. It gave us that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which I say a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. It's a week of just straight riding up. So we got out there. Somebody said, I got out. Good shit, bro. So for me, I really don't be scared of earnings. I'm not gonna lie, I don't be scared of earnings. And so that sucker fell off a cliff. And again, it was the $15.9 billion, and it is what it is, shit. Sucker fell $100 after earnings. And I was just like, shoot. You know what I'm saying? Look, it went from 758 to 675, bro. That's a big fall, bro. And then it just fell. Again, I got trapped in that play, 100%. I don't have no excuses about that one. I got trapped in that bitch, you hear me? Excuse my language. So today at 597, I'm looking at it. Now, here's what I will say. It did beat an antitrust case today, which is good, which allows Instagram, WhatsApp, all those to stay together. They don't have a social media monopoly. And if you look at it, the selling pressure has decreased, which is cool. I think it can still go down a little more. I want to see that volume shrink a little more because the one thing that I've learned, and I'm going to talk about this inside of our options workshop, when you see volume decrease, that is the market setting up for a move. A lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of people say, you want to see increased volume, increased volume. That is true. But before you get the increased volume, you'll notice that you'll see volume decrease, almost decrease below average, right? You'll see volume decrease below average. And so if you notice, if you look at that little volume, that volume before it spike anyway, you see little volume. You look on that volume indicator, you see that. And I noticed, I was like, damn, that was something I noticed. I started picking, like, damn, before something make a really serious move, like, that volume kind of decreased a lot. So it was just something I picked up on when I looked at it. So I think the volume is still elevated. It still is elevated, but once that volume kind of decreases a little bit, I think that Meta, don't get me wrong, it can fall a little bit more with everything I see going on. You cannot deny that. You got Nvidia tomorrow. You got doggone economic data coming out Thursday. So that's going to be important. But I think with Meta just being oversold like that, God damn. And we talk about a company that still has, great fundamentals. It's actually one of the companies with some of the best fundamentals in the game. So I am kind of interested in that. So I just wanted to put that out there, not putting it out there right now, saying it like that. But I think if we in a Patreon, I don't mind us. I'm going to put it in tomorrow. Like, I think that thing is cheap as far as the 800 play we in. I think you average down in it, because I think they're going for like $1, $2. Same thing we did with freaking AMAT. Like, it's just real cheap right now. Like, and all you're going to do is, so now disregard the 800 And now think about if I average down in it right here. I'm not saying go dump the house on it. I'm saying if you just take and buy a couple of them, it's going for, you know, $1, $2 a premium on it, you're going to bring down your cost basis, and then now you can disregard the 800 because now what you're looking for is you're looking for your cost basis to come. Now remember, I told y'all something when y'all came in here. When you do that, now you have what's called different lots at play at one time. So you have the lot from the upper, the first 800, and you have the lots from when you average down into it. When you sell that, you're gonna have to make sure you sell all lots at once and not let them separate the lots. Right, because they'll say, okay, well, we separate, you have different lots, you gotta make sure you say, sell all the lots at the same time. You know what I'm saying? All at once. So just wanted to put that out there. Somebody said, yep, I'm dumping the house. So that's just what I'm thinking. You know, that's all, nothing crazy, but yep, let's get back to it. I think now we in our freedom index. Yep, so let's get to that. Yep, so here we go. Sean, man, we was at 26%, now we at 20%. Huge sell-off. Costco whipping me out the frame. Just months. I can't wait to get off display. Costco under 900, insane. CrowdStrike, Goldman Sachs. I think Costco the only one I think Costco is I think I'm more disappointed in Costco than any other stock that I've ever been in because it hasn't performed well whether the market was up or down. And I'm disappointed because it's usually like it's usually one of them ones where like it'll navigate. It just hasn't like, whether the market is up or down, it just has not performed, bro. Just has not performed over the last like 5 months. So Costco, CrowdStrike, Goldman Sachs, you know I love you. Meta, I still love you. Netflix, I still love you. Nvidia, I still love you. Palantir, I still love you. USAR, I think you'll figure out something. So that's what we got right now. Yep, that's what we got right now, man. That's what we got. That's what we going. ASML hasn't let me down. I never had ASML in the freedom index. Remember, that's buy and hold. We still got ASML. I pointed out ASML. ASML. So yeah, Costco just, like they say in the Patreon, Costco. But it just let me down, man. It just let me down. Anyway, let's go further, man. Let's get into the chat, man. Let's get into the chat. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. Out the gate, man. Fear and greed index is at 9. You know how many people are scared right now. We in extreme fear. We went from 21, 23 at 9. Most people have never seen a 9. The lowest I ever seen was a 3. I seen a 3. But here's what I want to say this, and I want us to really understand this, y'all. As I always say, there's 2 things about the market that you got to pay attention to. When people who know absolutely nothing about the market start telling you what stocks to buy, you know we got a problem. When everybody is scared of the market, you know we got a problem. But not the problem that you think we have. When everybody is scared of the market, it is 100% a great time to be in the market. Because there is no time, and I'm going to say this for sure, and I promise I want you to fact check me. There is no time ever in the history of a recession, of a depression, of a bear market that everybody was on the same page. Recessions, depressions, bear markets always catch us off guard. It's always a straw that broke the camel back that there's just a huge sell-off. It's never the time where everybody's just sitting there like, yep, it's about to be a recession. It's about to be a recession. The market is in panic mode. It's about to be a recession. You don't see them coming, fam. You don't see them coming. And I promise if you fact check me and prove me wrong, I would say, damn, bro, I was wrong. I have no problem with saying that. I have no problem with saying that. But there has never been a time when I look back at everyone, and y'all know I like studying this game. I've never seen a time where everybody predicted the recession. Everybody predicted we always late. We always predict it while we in it. We not in it. I'm gonna tell you why we not in it. Just hear me. Here's why we not in it. Go look at the earnings. So people keep saying, man, it's only 7 companies that's holding the market up. Watch this. Go back on so people think this is the first time we have been in a revolutionary phase. The world is changing. It's pivoting. Watch this. If we go back, we'll see at one time, it was Exxon, it was Walmart, it was Microsoft, it was the railroads. You had 6 or 7 companies doing what? Holding the market up. They made up 23% of the market or 25% of the market. Please, go fact check me. There's always going to be what's called outliers in the market, and here's why. There's always going to be companies that, watch this, the whales cannot pile into small companies. They cannot. They cannot. So there was a time where the whales were piling into what? Standard Oil. Bro, you know how long General Electric had the market in the Cobra clutch? General Electric, Exxon Mobil, Sears and Roebuck, Walmart. Bro, I remember being little like, bro, Bill Gates been the richest man in the world for a long time. He was unchallenged. Microsoft, they had like 6 or 7 companies that literally just held the market up. And you know what happened? That's why Cornelius Vanderbilt and JP Morgan and these people, they were the companies that held the market up. So where they went is where the market went. And if you look over time, we had a little transition. And then it becomes these companies that hold the market up. But if you go look, it keeps evolving. It keeps evolving. So there's always going to be a few companies that just they represent 25, 30% of the market. That just happens, bro. Well, we've never seen a $5 trillion company before. Guess what? There was a time where you never seen a $500 million company, a $500 billion company. There was a time we never saw that. But yet we had a company that was, man, first time in history, there's a company worth $500 billion. There was a time when that happened. You know why? Because big companies, big institutions have to pile into the companies that are leading the market. You know why? Because they can't pile into the small companies. Because when they pile into the small companies, they give away their position size and they only have 2 million shares, 3 million shares. Right? So there's always gonna be that. So now here comes the CNBCs. Oh, we've never had a $1 trillion company before. This company's worth bro, I promise, if we live long enough, you're gonna see a company worth $8 trillion. If we live long enough, they're gonna go through a cycle. Leaders gonna lead until, watch this, leaders lead. Hear me well here. Leaders lead until new companies come and take the lead from them. Because no company can lead forever. Bro, just think about this. Not too long ago, Apple was the most dominant company. It was like, yep, where Apple goes, the market goes. And guess what happened? I had a saying, Apple stock today, keep the poverty away. I still believe in that. But guess what? Nvidia is like, hey, let me get that out to the partner. Guess what? They're going to hold it down for some time. And then what happens, here's what's going to happen. The same thing that happened with every company. That company, in the economic environment that we're in, is going to spawn off little companies that's going to keep getting better and it's going to adapt to what's going on. Nvidia is going to slow down, and then some companies are going to just be a Palantir-like company that's going to be chugging along, and then out of nowhere, they the face of what's going on. They the new $8 trillion company. They the new $9 trillion company. That's what happens in the game. So one, are we in the AI bubble? Hell no, we're not in the AI bubble. And let me tell you why we're not in the AI bubble. When we go back, just bear with me right here. just bear with me right here. If we go back, we talked about this earlier, if we go back to the dot-com bubble, if we go back to the 2008 crash, if we, dot-com bubble for sure, because that's what everybody keep comparing it to. In a dot-com bubble, you had a company like GemsEquipment.com. Guess what they had? 30 times price to earnings and 30 times revenue to sales. What does that mean? That means the company don't have profitability. It means the stock is trading at 30 times the revenue, right? That's what that means, right? So it's 30 times revenue, meaning the stock is trading 30 times to the revenue, meaning, yo, but here's the question you gotta ask yourself. What is the profits though? Where the profits at? Right? You had companies like Circuit City, Radio Shack, and Pets.com. You had so many .com companies. Anybody that can create, hey, let's go create a .com right here. Let's go public. We try to get some money. Because you know why? You know what people said? The internet is not here to stay. There's no way in the world that people are going to be on a computer doing stuff. And here we are, 50 years later, walking around with the internet in our phone. Matter of fact, we can't even function. Hey, bro, the Wi-Fi bad up here, dog. Hey, bro, I ain't going over that Wi-Fi. Man, they Wi-Fi bad. Hey, bro, you going over that? The Wi-Fi ain't right, bro. Where you going over that? Man, they ain't got no internet. Man, they got Boost Mobile over there. We now don't want to go nowhere that ain't got internet. Why? It's a part of who we are now. But there was a time where people said, that ain't about to happen. I just need you to hear what I'm saying right here. There was a time when people said, yo, there's no way that can exist. Let me go a little further with that. There was a time where people said, there's no way we're going to sell our horses for a Ford. There's no way the Ford Motor Company is going to be the biggest company on the stock exchange because I'm not giving up my horse for that. There was a time where people did not believe that. But yet, the Ford Motor Company became one of the biggest companies in the game. Let's go a little further. There was a time where people said there's no way the railroad companies are going to be the most powerful companies in the world. There was a time where people on the market said there's no way that oil will be the thing that's replacing, that will be more valuable than gold on the market. There was a time when people said that. But lo and behold, everything that people said wasn't going to happen, happened. Okay, so here's how we separate this, and I want y'all to just get out of your brain, because here's what the news do us, bro. Benton, I just got to rock out, Benton. Don't even trip on me, bro. It's going to be a long show tonight. Here's what I want you to think about. I just want you to understand that the same people on the news that's selling you on fear is the same people, once they get beyond the fear, that's going to be telling you, man, these are the most amazing companies in the game right now. Hey, everybody should buy this. You know why? Because the news is paid to make you think a certain way. When you wealthy and you building wealth, you got to become an independent thinker. You got to see outside the noise, because the noise is what trick you out your spot. The noise is what trick you out your spot. So you got to say, nope, let me see something. Okay, let me go look at the AI data. Let me go look at, I challenge everybody that's watching this to go say, let me take a second. Unplug from CNBC, unplug from Bloomberg, unplug from Yahoo Finance, and let me just go study, watch this, let me go study the dot-com bubble. Let me go study what companies was going crazy, and let me go look at what their PE ratios were and what they price, what their sales and revenue and earnings was. I challenge you to go do that. And then come right back and say, hey, Michael Burry is saying that Palantir, this is an AI bubble. Okay, Well, let's just think about it. First of all, Palantir, who their competition is. They don't got none. The company hasn't been created yet. So first of all, they're in a league by themselves. Let's just start right there. Second of all, they beat expectations on revenue, meaning they made more revenue this quarter that passed than what Wall Street expected. Second, they earned more money. Keyword, earned more money. Meaning, not only did they bring more money in, but once they paid the bills, they earned more, meaning they had more profits than what Wall Street expected. Not by a little bit, by a lot. Third, they said, you know what? I see your guidance, meaning here's what y'all think we was gonna do, and I raise it times 2. So they said, not only did we bring in more revenue than Wall Street thought we was gonna do, we made more profit than Wall Street thought we was gonna make, and whatever estimates that Wall Street put on us, we gonna raise that by 2. That's not a bubble, that's real money. And if we go back to the .com bubble, people wasn't doing that. Okay, let's go a little further. Let me go a little further with you. Google made more money, revenue, than what Wall Street expected. Not just with the cloud business, but with the YouTube business and with the other businesses. And then Google says, you know what? Since y'all think that ChatGPT gonna put us out of business, let me show you that we really the big dog. Because we making money, they not. And it's gonna take us some time to make some money. So ain't nobody putting me out of business without a fight. So they launched Gemini 3, and they come up with all these things like, oh, wait up now, wait a minute now. So they bring in more revenue than what Wall Street expected. They made more money in every part of their business, not just one part of the business, in 3 segments of the business. And then they said, we're gonna raise the guidance. Okay, that's not speculation, that is real money. Okay, let's go a little further here. Amazon, the biggest cloud company in the game, with this beautiful business called AWS. That one right there, the biggest cloud business in America. Let's talk about them right there. That's what they did. They made more revenue than Wall Street thought they was gonna make. They said, no, we not, what you expect us to make, we're gonna beat that. And then they bring in more profit than what Wall Street said it was gonna make. So that means I paid all my bills off for all these companies I got, and I had way more profit than, and then they said we're gonna increase our guidance. So now that's 3 companies that's pushing this AI revolution going forward. But let's just go a little further. Then we got big dog, Nvidia, tomorrow. Here's what Ginseng said. Hey, check this out. We've been making more money than what y'all thought, but y'all been penalizing us because every quarter you want us to put up a triple-double. Now, you're not holding nobody else to these type of standards. That's cool, I get it. But guess what I'm gonna tell y'all right quick? We got $500 billion worth of sales lined up between 2025 and 2026. They say, wait a minute, how much? $500 billion. 500 billion in backlog. So in case you know what backlog is, that means that's $500 billion of people waiting to spend their money. Okay, I want you to understand this. Backlog is, watch this. Not only do I have this much money coming in, we're gonna see that tomorrow, but then they say we got 500 billion waiting. So in case you don't know what that means, let me just make it more simple for you. If you're on the block and you're like, yep, I got this product, but the people like, hey, next week when I get paid, yo, I'm gonna send you this. Like, I won't get that from you. And then the next week, like, I'm gonna give you my first check, my third check, my 15th check, and then both of my paychecks that I get paid. Like, I'm gonna spend all that with you. That's what they're saying. Yep, that's what Nvidia's saying. They got a back, and here's the thing. The people like on the log, so it's like, yep, you gonna spend this much with me, you gonna spend this much with me, you gonna spend this much with me. India say they got a 12-to-1. So they not just in America, they went to India and did the same thing. And then they went, oh, China, you don't want to spend with me? No problem. I'm gonna go to India and spend. So this is what I'm understand. That's $500 billion in backlog money. That ain't no bubble, that's real money. Let's go a little further right quick, because I want you to understand the difference between a bubble and real money. Watch this, Meta, here we go. Watch this, company that has 0 debt. Just zero. He don't got no debt. Right? Now, here's what he said. He said, check this out. Yep, we had to pay 15, watch this, revenue blew it out of the water. Watch this, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, user attention, up. Guess what? Ad money, up. All of that's up. Guess what he said? Listen, we had to pay a one-time tax of $15.9 billion. But here's the one-time tax bill that I'm showing y'all. But guess what, y'all? If we wouldn't have had to pay this bill, we would have beat earnings by 30%. But we had to pay the bill. So watch this. Then he says, yep, we got all this money right here. So I paid that. I did miss earnings, but here's why I missed. Right? It's understandable. Like, it happened. You should have told us about that before, but it's okay. But if we didn't, here's the receipt for the $15.9 billion. And if we hadn't had to pay this one-time payment of $15.9 billion, we would have beat earnings by 30%, which would have sent the stock to $1,000. But that didn't happen, so we can't say woulda, coulda, shoulda. But he doubled right back and said, hey, check this out. I'm still gonna spend a couple $100 billion, which is called CapEx, on AI infrastructure because I would rather spend $100 billion on AI infrastructure than to be last place in the AI game. So here's what I want you to understand about this. My dog told me earlier, it made so much sense. Watch this. The people on Wall Street are not visionaries. Visionaries live in a league by themselves. A visionary, I'm gonna move with this. Watch this. A visionary is only right in the future. You can't see it in the present. Palantir competitors Alibaba. No, it's not. I mean, BBAI, not by far. They do something similar, but they ain't on the level with them. It's not even considered a competitor yet. So I want you to understand this. A visionary is proven right in the future. So listen to this. Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, Meta, Google, Tesla. These are the companies that are vital to the future. They all are building data centers for themselves. How it is a bubble if I'm spending real money on building a data center for myself? I just don't understand this. So we, as investors, got to say, okay, if that makes sense, Trap, okay, maybe it's not a bubble, Trap. Well, why are we selling off this? Okay, let's dig into that a little bit further. We've been on a uptrend, I counted the days, from April to October. No significant real pullbacks. You just went up and to the right from April. Up and to the right. April 12th to end of October, up and to the right. Right, watch this. So that means the market has accumulated a lot of profit. Up and to the right. Watch this. So the minute you have some uncertainty, what do you think the market does? Let me take some of these profits that I had for the last 6 months. Maybe it took me 2 months to get everything I lost back in April, March and April. Maybe it take me 2 months to get that back. Now it took me 6 months to get it back. But now I'm sitting on this profit. Watch this. There is right now $7.9 trillion sitting on the sideline. So what do you think the big dogs do? You sell off. Why do you think the aggressive sell off? Because there's some uncertainty. Why there's some uncertainty? Because now you get people saying, yep, it's about to be it's an AI bubble, and they're not using common sense. Here's what I've learned. When somebody's scared, they don't use common sense. Only a few people can get out of a, watch this, only a few people can get out of a burning house without panicking. Everybody else gonna panic. So what happens when you're sitting on your money and you saying, you know what, I gotta, watch this, I gotta outperform him over there. I got to outperform them over there. I got to outperform them over there. What you start doing? Let me lock these profits in. Let me get these profits in. Let me get these profits in. Let me get these profits in. So now you waiting on Nvidia, and now you waiting on a rate cut to get back in the market to finish the year strong. Well, why is that a thing, Trap? Well. If we haven't had a pullback in 6 straight months, at what point do you tell yourself, yep, you know what? It do make sense to take profit right here. It do make sense for them to be taking profit. Here's what we got to learn, y'all. They got some real smart people in that market. Your goal, watch this, your goal is not to make the market do what you want to do. Your goal is to pay attention to the market and say, yep, I got it. So what happens is, because they going to always be a step ahead of us, we always going to be reactionary to them. Always. The chart going to tell you something, but the chart is always a reaction, watch this, to what's to come. So here's what we got to say. All right, Trap, I am under some pressure right now, right? But in my thinking now, it's hard for you to see, watch this, it's hard for you to see December and January when it looks like February is on fire. It's hard for you to see December and January when November is on fire. You in the house, it's burning. You in there like this. I can't see, dog. It's all over, dog. I can't see. I can't see. I can't see. Then every time you pick your head up, guess what? Big fire right there. What's that headline? Michael Burry. Whole portfolio puts against Nvidia and Palantir. What do you think that does? Well, here's my caveat to that. And I want people to understand this. And I've been saying this, and everybody just disregard what the hell I be saying when I say this. If that's a 13F, the 13F is 45 days prior to when it come out. That means he was under pressure for 45 days because Palantir went from 170 to 210. That means he been under pressure. You don't know the exact date of that. A 13F comes out 30 to 45 days prior. He been under pressure. You don't know if he at break even or if he's still in the law. You don't know yet. You know why? Because you don't get to see the exact thing. Here's what I can tell you. Go look at the Palantir chart. Go look at it from now. Go look 30 days back and see what it did from 30 to 45 days because it's 30 to 45 days. Go look at it and see what, if he put it here and it went here, how much pressure he was under. If he did it in 45 days, if he did it in 30 days, if he did it in this window right here, how much pressure was he under before that came out? How much pressure was he under? That's what 30 to 45 days is. And so now when it comes down, you say, okay, is he break even? Is he, but no, you ain't gonna see that. All you see is, hey man, Michael Burry put his all in. If he was under Nvidia, if he did the same thing from Nvidia, guess what? Nvidia went from 160 to 212 or something. He was under pressure. That's the part of the game. But you don't know that. You don't, all you see is Michael Burry he got the shorts on Nvidia. He got the shorts on Palantir. That's all you see. So now the headline got you. Look, watch this. Let me go jump in the water. Now you ready to go jump in the canal. Now, here's the thing. If you play puts from there to now, guess what? You won. You made some bread. Well, you made bread. That don't mean he wasn't under pressure. Now, if you want to add some, you want to add a little more to that, okay, Trap. Well, what about SoftBank? Okay, watch this. Go look 1 month prior to SoftBank selling everything. Go look when they were sitting down with ginseng wine and the CEO of SoftBank said, man, you know what? My biggest mistake in this game was selling Nvidia 2 times. So the third time he got it right? That's what you're telling me. He said, my biggest mistake was selling Nvidia the first time and then selling it a second time. This is the third time. This is not me making this up. Just go look at it. When they sat down, they had a conversation, they were sitting on the sofa, and the man said, yeah, you know, like my biggest mistake as a owner of a company was selling Nvidia this time and then that time. And so this is the third time. So I'm just saying to you, the headline don't tell you all that. All you see is, damn, Michael Burry sold, damn, SoftBank sold, I'm selling. You jumped in the water. Now, here's the thing. If you did do a put from the time that to now, did you make some bread? 100%. I ain't never against us making no bread. But you always got to have context on what's going on. You always got to have context. The media giving you sound bites. Again, I just want you to think one time, when in the world, and just go look at it, y'all. Everybody can put up something to say what's right, what's wrong. All I'm going to say is go look back in history and go tell me when was the whole world on the same accord about a recession? When was the world on the same accord about the market falling and going to zero? Never in the history of the market has that happened. Oh, but this time different. Trap, the writing on the wall. Bro, you live in America. We got $38 trillion of debt. The writing always going to be on the wall. The writing always going to be on the wall. So are we under some pressure? Hell yeah. It's part of the game, fam. It's part of the game. Take the pressure. Rock out. I promise you this, though. I promise you this. The minute you liquidate everything, man, the next week that market gonna run up to the top. The next week is gonna run up to the top. Let's go a little further.
Hey, wait. Actually, we on one slide. I think it was K Tactical said, yo, we need a whole show about all the slides we missed.
All right, do what you want, dog. Navigate how you want to navigate, dog.
That was a clip and a half. I'm with it.
Navigate how you want to navigate, Ben.
He good. He good. He said let him cook.
All right, so Mike Wilson sees, so this is Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, S&P 500. He says the S&P 500 going to 7,800 within a year. Expect strong corporate earnings to drive full quarter of bumper gains. So remember, here's what we went at. Look at this chart. Trump pause in April. We go straight to the right. We go straight to the right. We go straight to the right. We get it down, a little, small little bump down. We straight to the right. Get like, I think that's when we got the little 3% pull. That's when October got a little tough. Straight, that was what, 3 days into October. Boom, right back. Straight to the right. Straight to the right. Nate, what's up, family? Right, straight to the right. So I see it. And if we look at the companies that's holding the S&P up, if we look at the companies that's holding this thing up, y'all, I promise y'all, bro, like, there's always been a small group of companies that has made up the majority of the market. It's just the way the company goes, man. Let's go a little further, man. All right, Bitcoin wipes out all of its 2025 gains. So, like, y'all know, like, I only buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't have really nothing bad to say about this. I just mean, this is not the first time I've seen Bitcoin do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't the first time, like, this ain't the first time we've seen Bitcoin, like, go to hell. And then, you know.
To the moon.
Out of nowhere, 200,000. You're like, God damn, how the hell that happen? This ain't the first time. Like, bro, like, it happens, bro. Like, you know, it's a little more erratic than the market. You know, it wiped out all its gains. I bet, like, you know, like, bruh, if you, here's how I feel about it. If you liked it at 100,000, why the hell you don't like it at 93,000? Right? For me, it ain't nothing that you I'm not trading it. And for me, I'm an investor. So I'm not trading the Bitcoin. I'm going to buy it and just freaking hold it. So, bro, let it go down. Actually, I wouldn't mind it going down to like 60 grand. I wouldn't care, or 50 grand. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna look at Bitcoin the same way I look at, like I would look at gold. It ain't nothing I just won't hold it. I want it to increase. It's like buying hold. Like, all right, I know it's erratic. I know it does that, right? I know it does that. That's the thing about the future, right? Like, it goes through that. Until it becomes a staple of what's going on, it's gonna go through those things, bro. Like, remember this. Watch this. And y'all know me. Last year, I had to bet, but nobody want to bet me the $10,000. Nobody want to bet. They was like, I want to bet you $1,000. Nah, 10,000, I said. You know what I'm saying? 10,000. Listen, the thing was down for 9.5 months. No, 10.5 months. And then from November to January, it goes from 60 to 100. I'm like, how the hell? I was like, well, I'm glad nobody ain't bet me. That would have been an easy 10 grand. But they ain't believe in it. Well, probably not like Chris or Black Robin Hood or one of them. They probably would have been like, bet, nigga. But a lot of people were like, Bitcoin, they ain't take the bet. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not like, I want y'all to understand that headlines are made to like, and here's another thing I want you to know. Watch this. Watch this. Here's what I learned about this. And this one, JP Morgan, like, really, like, made me say, wait, what? The whole while Jamie Dimon and all the big banks were saying, we don't care about crypto. We not buying crypto. Da-da-da-da-da. We did on Trap and Tutu, we showed a scale, and the biggest people who was buying the crypto was the people who was telling you not to buy it.
I told you, just like
Citibank,
Beyonce.
JP Morgan, BlackRock.
Mm-hmm.
The same people that was telling you we not buying it. It ain't worth nothing. It's a scam. The idiots buying it.
Scooping it. I told you that's the Beyonce, all the single ladies, but she got her ring. Like, girl, we single.
Yeah. You said they needed 10K liquor. What else they was gonna need? Yeah, I had a 10K liquor. What else I'm gonna bet you? Like 10K on margin? Oh, you're not gonna do that. You need the 10K liquid. You needed the 10K liquid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, like, don't fall for it, man. Let's go a little further. And Jose said a bar that people want to listen to. Beyonce was on something. Oh, the single ladies. Oh, the single ladies. Whole while she even got a ring on. Uh-oh.
Matter of fact, I think she was dancing with the ring on.
Y'all be single and independent. She don't got a whole man.
Right.
Married. Better stop that, man. Now, this was interesting right here, right? The last million BTC will change everything. A total of 19,950,086 Bitcoins already in circulation out of the fixed 21 million supply. That means less than 1 million and some Bitcoin is left to be mined forever. With each halving, new supply becomes harder to produce and more expensive. The final Bitcoin is not expected to be mined until 2140. The milestone highlights Bitcoin's scarcity and why investors treat it like digital gold. As supply continues to tighten and institutional demand grows, look at that word right there. Institutional demand grows, long-term holders believe the price pressure will increase only.
Somebody about to go on a scooping spree.
I'm just saying. Bro, if you know they only got 21 million of them, bro, get your share. And, I'm not the enthusiast about it, but I believe that 5 years from now, it's going to be something. It's going to be one of the most prominent things that we use. And I just want my piece of it. I'm not, I'm not going to lie and sit here and be like, try to give advice on Bitcoin and Ethereum and all. I'm not about to try to give it, but I just know that we cannot deny that we are entering a world where this is going to be a thing. We cannot deny that. And so if that's the case, why not just get a piece of it? Right? You probably was looking at it when they're like 130 or one, like, damn, I wish it come down. Well, now it's at 90-something thousand. Get you a piece. If it goes down to 80, guess what? Get you a piece. If it goes down to 60, guess what? Get you a piece. Because you got a president in office that's pushing it. And you can't deny that he got power. Let's go a little further.
Hey, what's going on, Trap? Appreciate you taking my call. My name is Jonathan. I'm from Brooklyn, but I currently reside here in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. Still active duty. I've been with you all for about 2 years or so. Started my financial journey way back when. Because of you, I was able to turn my $6,000 into six figures. From 2023 to late last year, right? So I just saw on Instagram that Fannie Mae is removing the lower limit for home loans. Given this fact, the increased devaluation of the dollar, the increased American debt and deficit, right? And the not so great jobs market report, to include everything else that we have going on, right? What do you think are the market implications from something like this? When I hear Fannie Mae and home loans, it screams the crash of 08.
Yeah, he's basically saying the crash of 08, bruh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. So first of all, salute, brother, for rocking out. Couple years with us. Salute to that.
Hey, 6,000 to six figures.
6,000 to six figures is big. I'm glad he came on here and said that, because for somebody, that was a moment to say, damn. And if he been rocking for 2 years, that means he went through the issue of 2023, he went through 2024, and he rocked. So that's crazy. And so I think he's saying, he's saying with the debt of the American debt going up, with the devaluation of the dollar, with jobs and all these other things, I think his question was like,
with the Fannie Mae basically giving away, I guess it happened on the 16th.
yeah.
His whole thing is like, bruh, I was in it in Brooklyn with the market crash. I had to cut it. It was it was like 3 minutes. My dog was going in. But he was basically like, look, yo, I've been through it. What you think about it happening again?
Oh, okay. I think that, so shout out him, he's from VA, living in, yeah. No, he's from VA, but live in Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn, live in VA.
From Brooklyn, live in VA. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Shout out for active duty. We appreciate your service, brother. Salute to that. So Nate said he was in that Meta 505. For sure. That's a revolutionary moment for the group, you heard me? With us being, so I'll say this, man. With us being, that $38 trillion in debt is heavy, bro. Like, you can't make up no way around that, bro. Like, that's heavy to be in. And recessions are 100%. So mind you, look what I said. I said that we not in a bubble, right? But that don't mean we not gonna fall into a recession. It's two different things. I think that the disruption of AI will put more pressure on the economy because, one, you lose jobs. When you lose jobs, people get more tight with their money. When people get tight with their money, corporate earnings go down. Also, people can't afford homes, which is why they putting the 50-year home thing out right now. So all of those things we 100% cannot deny. I will not deny that and say that that ain't real. That's real. Also, you're seeing that American households just have more debt right now. So with all of those things combined, what do I see like a recession happening? I can definitely see us getting in one within the next 2-3 years. 100% I can see that happening. 100%. The severity of it is a whole nother ballgame. You know, this is why I said we 100% should only be using our money on a few things: assets, access, and information that allows us to be better. If you look at that, and just to partner with what you said, the U.S. is preparing for a $2,000 stimulus check. Japan is preparing for a $110 billion stimulus package. China has approved a $1.4 trillion stimulus package. That should stop right there. Japan, remember, let's go back to what we talked about, the carry trade, where people getting from Japan, so that's a stimulus. One, China, a stimulus package. Let's just talk about that for a second. When people keep saying that China is this, China is that, China is this, yep, China is all that, but also China, yeah, right? The Fed is officially ended its quantitative tightening December 1st. The U.S. is issuing $1.5 trillion in treasuries per year. Canada is restarting quantitative easing program. Global M2 money supplies at a record level. Go look at that. 137 trillion. Go look at that. Global rate cuts. And also go look at the global debt. Like, it's not just America. It's a lot of countries that's going through it. And it's a lot of the big dogs and stuff. You look at countries like Singapore and stuff like that. So I definitely could see it happening. I definitely could see us going into a recession. That's why I keep saying, take the fake money and put it into real assets. That's how we avoid it. Take the fake money, put it in real assets, learn how to trade, learn how to use the fake money to go buy more assets. That way we go in a recession, guess what you got? You got assets. So, hope I answered that question for you, bro. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Let's go a little further.
Good evening, trappers. Hey, family. Salute to Jose and salute to Big Trap and everybody that's in the Freedom Center right now. Good evening, y'all. So my question revolves around AI. AI is growing so rapidly. It's entering every industry that you can think of. It's being used for things that we never used it before, including the stock market, okay? So what I want to know is that being that AI is moving at such a rapid rate, is giving us high data-driven results and things like that, where do you actually see AI playing a part in the stock market? How do you feel that this is going to make the stock market move? Is it going to make people fearful? If it's going to make people more greedy? What's your take on AI growing so rapidly in the stock market? Thank you.
Shout out to the Queen Tori. We glad she back. You know what I'm saying? Definitely glad she back. Y'all know we prayed for her. We prayed for her, so we glad she back in the building. I think AI is the new internet. I think it will be the new internet. I think the same way that we did with, the same way people felt about the internet is that's what's it. You got to think about it. Like, companies are being built now off AI. You know what I'm saying? I think I was listening to Dan Eyes one day, and he said, he think we like in the third inning. And I truly think we'll have about 2 more years of just AI just run up before the market be like, all right, bro, like, what's the next, what happens next? You know what I'm saying? So I think we got like a good 18 months to 2 years of it, because, if we being realistic, it's still like the Wild Wild West. Watch this. I'm about to say something that's going to be real dope. Sean did something real dope with the AI the other day, right? But watch this. You got people saying they AI experts. How can you be an expert in something that it's impossible? It's impossible. It's still in the first, second stage. There's no way you're an AI expert. But here's what happens. Right? Here's what happens. You got people who are really good at it, and you got people who are lazy at it. And so the people who are really good at making it connect and do what they need to do, they're going to sell stuff to people that's lazy. When everybody who learning how to use it, guess what they doing? They just figuring it out as they go. They just learn, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I figured this out. I watched my lady do it. Bro, I watched my lady. I watched Nat. This is real talk. Bro, I watched Nat play with AI for like 6 hours in the house. I'm talking about going from freaking one AI tool to another AI tool to another AI tool till she wound up creating a twin. I was like, how the hell you did that? She like, babe, look what I just figured out. I'm like, what you just figured out? She's like, oh yeah, I watched this person. Now, what I like about her, that's her thing. So she gonna go in a rabbit hole. I watched her go to like 6 different things. She come to the computer like this. Hey, babe, look. I'm like, what the hell? She's like, what do you think about that? I'm like, that thing don't look like you. She's like, this is my first time. By the time she came back to me the second time, she had a whole freaking AI Natalie. I was like, God damn, babe, I'll date her. She wanted to punch me down when I said that, yeah? But that's what happened. You got people who gon' lock in and just figure it out, and you got people that's not gonna lock in and they just gonna use Chat GPT like it's Google. Them the people who will always get something sold to them. They got people who gonna sit there and be like, hey, let me show you how to build an AI agent for every portion of your business. And then you, the person that know that it's possible, but you don't got the time to sit there and do it, guess what you about to do? How much I gotta pay you to do it for me? It's simple. But they not AI, experts. How can you be an expert at something that's, even the people saying it right now, they like, hey, bro, we still figuring it out. So how you is the expert at something that the people who did it is still figuring out? It's impossible. It's impossible. It's new. It's new. But I'm not mad at it, but there is a place for that. I'm not even hating on the people. There is a place for that. When you put your time, effort, energy into figuring something out, guess what you do, yo? I'm about to tell you something right quick. Watch this. Watch what I'm about to say. This is going to be key to everybody what I'm about to say right here. It's going to be essential. Anyway, when you figure out, watch this, when you figure out how to sell, I hope nobody don't take this the wrong way. When you figure out a way to sell something to lazy people, you become rich. Watch this. Let me show you the truth. Amazon figured out a way to get us our stuff the next day. Guess what? We don't go to the grocery store anymore like talking about it. DoorDash figured out how to get our food to us without us leaving out the house. Guess what? People don't go out to talk about it anymore. I'm just going to DoorDash. Bro, I've DoorDash toilet paper. I'm just about DoorDash.
And that's 40% more.
Come on, man. You look at it like, damn, that stuff $12. How to bill $25? Guess what? I'm going to pay them extra, whatever that is, because I don't feel like leaving out my house. I'm just keeping, and I hope that don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Because people do it in business. Right? Guess what? I'm going to just keep, one thing I tell my people in the Patreon is, I say this all the time, bruh, like, I want you to learn from me, but I don't want you to depend on me. Because as I'm doing certain stuff, I'm not all told showing all that. I'm like, damn, bro, like sometimes I be so locked in. Like, I'll be on the market, but I'm doing, like when we were dealing with the roof, I was so into it, I wasn't like I was. But I was so glad that people like Belina, Ab, MU Legend, Bud, Uncle T, Chop Fellas, Rams, Pascal. They was able to go hunt on their own. That's like, I love that. Like, yeah, we gonna put some plays in, and they lose some time on their own too. But guess what? It's like, bro, like, when you put the play in trap, that's a plus. But I'm gonna go hunt for my damn self too. So I be wanting you to rock with me just because it's like, it's a vibe. You gonna learn some stuff, we gonna make some money. You know, the goal is to make way more than we lose, but I want you to learn how to hunt. That's just how the game goes. Like, so, but there's some people like, bro, I'm not about to figure nothing out. When Trap put the play in, I'm just put the play in. Trap don't put the play in, I ain't gonna put the play in. Right? I be proud when I see George. I come in here, he got the choice. Hey, look at this, cuz. I be like, yep, nope, looking at it wrong. Do this. I want you to hunt for yourself. Long lead. I want you to hunt with me because it's fun and we vibe out, we do our thing, but go out and hunt on your own, yo. You know what I'm saying? So that's The same is gonna be like that, bro. Like, there's people that's gonna lock in because they see the opportunity. There's always a way to be There's always watch this. Why did Zoom make so much money? Because we figured out you don't gotta get your lazy ass up and go to work. You could just get on a Zoom call with your bonnet on. And then when the people say, hey, now you got to come back in this damn office 5 days a week, it's an uproar. Man, I don't want to go in that damn office no more. No. But Zoom made it easy for us. When you learn how to sell convenience, when you learn how to sell that, where people don't got to get out, now they fighting for, hey, we want a 4-hour work week because we could spend, we could spend 2 days at our house. And people say, no, you either come in here or you get fired. Man, nobody don't really want to come in because you had 2.5 years of doing what? Zoom call. Zoom call, convenience. Convenience. Then you got pissed off when the people say, hey, when you're on a Zoom call, hey, you gotta put your picture up. Oh man, these people tripping. Now they want me to put the picture up. You on the clock. The least you could do is take the bonnet off, take the stuff off. Bro, go brush your teeth, my dog. Stop trying to be on a Zoom call, having it on a mute and playing Call of Duty at the same time. You playing Madden on a Zoom call, like, yeah, my bad, man. My daughter was, now you blaming it on your kids, but you on Call of Duty. Yeah, my bad. You said it again, my daughter was, now you lying on your child, but you playing, turn the TV down. You turn the TV down, bro. That's not your kid. You feel me? So you learn convenience, that's what happened. So watch this. Microsoft, Nvidia, Anthropic. Oh, anyway, Tori, I feel like that. It's gonna be the future, 100%. All right, so here we go. Microsoft, Nvidia, Anthropic, the $45 billion AI play. Microsoft, Nvidia, Anthropic have announced a strategic partnership. Another multi-billion-dollar AI deal has arrived. Anthropic to buy $30 billion of Azure, which is Microsoft. Nvidia to invest $10 billion in Anthropic, and Microsoft to invest $5 billion in Anthropic. I want you to see how that same little that cycle of money going. You buy from me, I lend to you, I buy from you. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Hey, chill.
Hit the time limit for this conversation. Please start a new chat.
Benton, you trying to send me a message, dog? I don't know how you did that shit, but don't do that no more. All right, let's go a little further, man. Whatever y'all want to do, bro, I'm rocking with y'all, bro. Whatever y'all want to do. Whatever y'all want to do, I'm rocking with y'all. AI just left Earth. Google to spend $10 billion in space. Watch, bro, this is about to be interesting. Watch this. This is interesting. Google is taking AI into space. Under Project Suncatcher, the company plans to build solar-powered data centers in orbit about 400 miles above Earth to power its next generation of AI chips. Tell me if this is a bubble. How? How? The goal, cut land, water, and power use on Earth while tapping into solar energy that's up to 8 times stronger than on the ground. 2 prototype satellites will be launched in 2027, with full development expected by the mid-2030s, when costs could rival Earth-based sitters. If successful, Google could redefine how AI is powered beyond a... Tell me, how is this a bubble?
I'm trying to figure out how it works. Think about it. When you got a solar panel, it's cables that run into your house over.
So they're going to have it connected to the satellites. They got more energy out there.
But is it how they feed it to us to power stuff?
Nigga, we ain't that smart. Nigga, we run media, not satellites.
I'm trying to figure it out. My brain is like...
Yup, it's going to fry you. Yup. But here's what you got to do. You got to ask AI.
I got to ask the AI.
You got to ask AI how the AI going to be powered by...
Is it a long cable? Oh, man.
Listen. It's the same thing when the people, what else they say? Oh, we having cooling problems. Microsoft, what they say? Oh, we having cooling problems? I got an issue for it. What we gonna do? We gonna build AI data centers in the ocean. What? Yeah, the cooling. We gonna build the cooling, put them in the ocean. It's not a bubble. The people is spending billions of dollars because they saying, this is where we going at. This is not a bubble, bro. This is people spending real money on the one thing that people not saying, infrastructure. People are, these companies, what companies it is though? It's the big seven. Meta, hey, we about to build the biggest AI center, data center ever. Where at? In Louisiana. I don't build that on a bubble. I just need us to look at when people saying, oh, we in a bubble, we in a bubble. Bro, why they, all right, let's go a little further. Watch this. Jeff Bezos just gave Elon Musk some much needed competition. Watch this out. Check it out.
We're going to start building these giant gigawatt data centers in space. So these giant training clusters, those will be better built in space because we have solar power there 24/7, and the solar power there is, there are no clouds and no rain, no weather. So you can build, we will be able to beat the cost of terrestrial data centers in space in the next couple of decades. And so space will end up being one of the places that keeps making Earth better. It already has happened with weather satellites. It's already happened with communication satellites. The next step is going to be data centers and then other kinds of manufacturing.
Next, they're going to put an AI factory on the moon, talking about, hey, ain't no rain, ain't no clouds, ain't no storms, with a long cable.
that plugs in Arizona.
Oh,
bruh. Bro, just check it out. Bro, do you see? Bruh. These people not just talking. They telling you, here's what I'm going to say again. Visionaries are proven right in the future. They're not proven right in right now. That's why they visionaries. You a Wall Street banker. You a Wall Street investor. You run a hedge fund. You don't see the future. You gonna pay some little dude that just graduated and you pay him to think in the future because your old ass can't see the future. These dudes is visionaries, bruh. Then you're gonna look back in 2030 and you won't think you see 2030 and you'll be like, damn, that go to, damn, what that is? Yep, Google got one out there. Bro, the Jetsons is real. I'm just saying, bro, like when we acting like this stuff not about to happen. Bro, this is gonna happen whether we go through a recession, depression, whatever. You know why? So watch this. This is why they firing so many people. Bro, I got to fire y'all so I can keep on having more money because where I'm going at gonna cost. But once I get there, profits go through the roof. That's why they keep firing so many people, dog. And so this is why learning how to trade, learning how to cut, bro, learning how to do something to bring in some extra money gonna be important because that universal basic income gonna put everybody on welfare. So you better learn. Bro, think about this, bro. This dude done came out of retirement. Jeff. He on the whole, he like, hey, I don't even want to be in Amazon no more, bro. Like, I'm gonna just be on the board. I'm good. I'm straight. Bro done came out of retirement. Like, ooh, watch this. I said this about Elon before. I said this, bro. Think about this, bro. After you become the richest man in the world, there's nothing left for you to do until you find something that's gonna challenge you. So, Jeff done already did what? Changed the game with what? Amazon. It's a revolutionary company. But guess what? When he was just selling books, we ain't thought that was, right? Nobody don't buy no books. Nobody ain't buy no books online. And then, watch this. For 15 years, bruh ain't make no profit. So here's what I don't like either. I don't like when people be saying, if you don't own Amazon here, this how much you have. You know how hard that is? Bruh, watch this. I did the research. There's only 4 people that held on to Amazon from its IPO. That was Jeff Bezos, his mama, his daddy, and one of his close friends, the people that gave him the $1 million. And people keep saying, hey, you know, they keep faulting your boy who sold Apple for $8 or whatever. Be like, that's some of the biggest mistakes he made. No, the dude became a millionaire after that. Guess what? You can't even hold. You talking about this man making a mistake, but you can't even hold during a downturn. Hey, Chap, I'm up $50. What I should do? Think I should sell? You feel me? It's not a bubble, family. Let's go a little further. Let's go a little further. Elon Musk says Tesla plans to build 1 million humanoid robots. Why the number 2030 keep coming up? You know why? Because visionaries understand the timeline on what it's going to take between time, research, execution, deliverabilities. Let's look at it.
Every human on Earth is going to want to have their own personal R2-D2 C-3PO. But actually, Optimus will be even better than that. R2-D2, it's kind of would beep at you, and it's kind of hard to figure out what he's talking about. You know, you need C-3PO to translate. But Optimus is going to be, everyone's going to want one. I think there could be tens of billions of Optimus robots out there. The scale of Optimus, like I said, that's really going to be something else. I think it's going to be the biggest product of all time by far.
Of all time. So I'm just trying to understand, once everybody laid off, how you going to buy the robot?
No, watch it. Look. Watch this.
Put it on layaway.
Look at this. Tesla, then Apollo, then Boston Dynamics, Tesla again. Come on, look at these people that building robots, fam. It's not a game. Bruh, it's not a game.
Bro, that just says 5'11".
Go back. It's not a game. Bro, look at this. 5'11". Bro, I don't want no 5'11" robot in my house. Then you my height. Matter of fact, you a quarter inch taller than me. I'm 5'10" and a half. 5'11", you think you can take me?
Look at the Unitree joint. Look like it's ready to fight already.
Come on, bro. Look, 5'6". Man, I don't want nothing over 3 feet.
So you can kick it.
Get your stupid ass out here. At 5 foot, he challenging me.
Right.
Or she, it, or whatever. I ain't doing it.
And you know it's AI, so it's learning. It's learning.
I ain't doing it. What you mean? That is not the right thing for me to do. What are you talking about? I said no, you do it. What? Then he waterproof. I throw some water on, like, aha, he laugh at you. Ah, that don't work. Then I saw the thing that said they programmed the machine. Bruh, watch this. That thing will blackmail you.
Yeah.
It can blackmail you.
You see Megan.
Then I saw the dude had the one in his house running into the glass, flipping the skillet over. There's no way. keep telling people, bro, listen to me, fam. Like the way people be hacking computers and hacking this, bro, there's no way nobody not gonna hack that.
Yep. Looking at you.
Come open the door while he gone.
Wait, what was that? What was
Oh, they hacking, look. Where does Wallstreet Trapper live? You ain't know where they hacking. I know where he lives.
Bruh.
What?
Bruh.
Are you in Wallstreet Trapper's house? Yes, I am. Because you know what you're going to do. You're going to program the thing to say your name. Come on, huh? Huh? Now they got the signal going into the thing. They open the door. You gone. You talking about guard the house before I leave. I got you, Trap. Opening the door. You come in, everything gone. He talking about, I thought it was you, Trap. What? Nah, man, I don't want that. I wouldn't even know how to sleep with that thing in my house. But here's what we can't deny. The visionaries are saying this where we going. It ain't you and me saying this where we going. It's the richest people in the world saying this where we going. Look who's saying this. There's not no anybody saying this. This is not somebody on the corner. This is not a startup company. This is Elon Musk. This is Jeff Bezos. This is Mark Zuckerberg. This is the dudes that own Google. This is Nvidia. This is the richest companies in Larry Ellison. This is the richest people in the world and the richest companies in the world saying, yo, this is what we putting our money to go at. And all they keep doing is buying companies. Watch this. They buying and acquiring companies that help them get there faster. So if you don't think this is where we going, there's no way this is a bubble. And that's all I'm trying to get you to understand. You cannot negotiate the necessary. This is the necessary. So what you need to be doing is saying, how do I put my money in the future? How do I put my money in the future and deal with the pressure now? That's it. Look at this. China begins the world's first mass delivery of industrial humanoid robots. Roll the beautiful beam footage.
Bro, we done seen this movie so many times before in different forms. I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to be financing, 60-month financing on them joints. What they
Watch this. It ain't for everybody.
Definitely, yeah.
Huh? How you going to tell us only $60,000 somebody ain't got no job? Now you going to finance a robot. Buy now, pay later. Yep. I'm telling you, bro, it's going to be just like everything else. They're going to have the higher end model. That's it, dog. And you can be like, oh, Trap, that's AI. Yeah, you know how you know it ain't AI? Every time they got this quick trip, bro. I done went in like 4 or 5 quick trips. Guess what they got on the floor? It used to be the people mopping the floor. Now they got the little, I be like, yo, what's that? Go look at Ginseng Wan when he do his speech. We got on the stage, 4 of them. He got the little bitty one. That's the one I have in my house. That's the little bitty one. I can kick him. Get your... Then he got the other one.
Toe, but yeah.
Then right now, you see people on Instagram right now, $60,000 robot. They got the other one that I think it's like $20,000. I told my partner Alex, he sent this to him. I said, bro, don't you buy that shit. It's like $25,000. He said, too late, I already put in the order. I said, man, I might put one in the Freedom Center. Like they come in when people walk in. Welcome to the Freedom Center.
Yeah.
Gangsta shit right now. Now we got to worry about hiring no event team. We got 10 robots.
See, we cutting jobs too. Golly.
You feel me? But we can't say it's fake because they already selling them. So, what we got next, man? I don't want to stay too long. We got the people in here all night.
Y'all see the new technology is out, right? Where you now, I think this is the one where you ring up your own, like, when you put it in the cart. See, look at this, what that say? You see what this shit say? It say start shopping. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I think, right? Cashiers, no more, you ain't gonna need no cashiers. If you could just pay for your like this, continuous guest, let's see what happened. First time using new cart. Yeah, got me. Let's see what they talking about. Add product, face it. Yeah, you scan it as you put it in the cart.
Bruh, watch this. You know what that is? Zara already got it, but they got it in a different way. You go to Zara, I was like, oh, that's crazy. You just dump your stuff in the bin. Me and Nat did it, and we was in Vegas. We went, like, you just take everything you buy, you don't even get in line no more. They got like 6 bins. You just dump your stuff in the bin. It tell you everything you just dumped in the bin and say, yep, here's how much it costs. No people, they had 2 people on the register, and they had 5 bins, the bins running through it. Then all you gotta do is take it out and just put it in your bag. That's all that is. It's on a basket. Just put all the stuff in the basket.
I went to the, I don't know which airport that is, the Amazon they got like the joint in the airport. You just walk in and walk out with your stuff.
Bruh.
I was like, wait, I don't gotta. I saw it on my account.
That's it, bruh.
I was like, how y'all even?
That's it, bruh. That's where we at. So how can we keep saying this a bubble when we see what's happening? The problem is, and this is the thing, and again, I just want y'all to sit on it. Yes, like we may be in some place, you may be in some place that's early, that, yep, you're gonna be under some pressure for a while, yep, that may happen, but here's the thing, bro, and there's fear in the market based on people. So the rate cut is a thing, right? You can't deny the underlying pressure that's there. Jobs, debt, that's it. But they using the AI as a reason when that's not the reason. Now, here's another thing. You talk about this stimulus that Trump them trying to do in next year, that adds to inflation. You can't print money without adding to inflation. Then what did he say today? I'm thinking about firing Jay Powell. Why? Because you too late. He said, I put in the page on it, they called him too late. No, I will say the Fed I've never ran a country before, and I've never been responsible for the money that goes in and out of a country, but you know what I'm saying? Look at this. The Fed just triggered a liquidity crisis. Bank stress, repo market moves. Go look at what the repo market is. $3 trillion daily. Normally cheaper to borrow from banks than the Fed. On October 31st, banks borrowed a record $50 billion from the Fed. Bank reserves now at a 4-year low. Government spending, problem. U.S. debt has passed $38 trillion, raising 70,000 per second, running a $2 trillion annual deficit with no war or crisis, because that's what usually does it, right? The Fed dilemma, tightening, systems run out of cash, printing, inflation runs hot. Dallas Fed Lori Logan says liquidity operations are coming. But also, what do we see? we see that, so I thought about this, and we could do one more, then we can, it's going on 10:30, people got to get up. So think about this. It cost us, and I put a YouTube, we put a new YouTube out today, check it out. It's dope, we really put it out, and it's something, is what I think is gonna happen tomorrow and Thursday. But think about this, this is the one from yesterday. Watch this. I'm not saying Donald Trump is lying or none of that. My political views don't really matter. But here's what I will say. The math ain't all the way right. So in 2020, $1,400 stimulus checks to Americans cost us $411 billion. That's what it cost us in 2020. In 2026, $2,000 stimuluses probably gonna cost us somewhere about 600, right? 600 billion, right? No, yep, now watch this. As of now, we've brung in about $233 billion in tariff money. Now, remember, that tariff money isn't, we pay that. So let me just break that down. We pay that. How do we pay that? Because the tariff money is decided by the companies. The companies have to pay that for doing business. And then what happens is they raise prices because they not gonna do what? Eat that. This is why Donald Trump told Walmart and these other companies, yo, y'all made billions of dollars in profits last year. Y'all should be able to eat that, right? But here's the thing. Companies they're not gonna eat that. What they gonna do? Pass it on to us. So right now, guess what? Coffee is up 30%. Coffee itself is up 30%. Beef is up, I think, 15-something%. Eggs up through the roof. So this is why you saw Donald Trump do what? Sign some deals with who? People like who? Sweden and some other countries. Why? So he cut the tariffs from like 35% to like 15%. Walk with me here. Why? So that it becomes cheaper, right? Hear me out. We expected to bring in about another $45 billion between the end of this month and December. So that puts us at about somewhere around $280 billion, almost $300 billion, right? Well, that still makes us about $300 billion short. Hear me on the math right here. If we're about $300 billion short of paying the $600 billion that it's gonna cost to give everybody $2,000, what money do you got left over to pay down debt? Because he said he gonna pay everybody $2,000 and use the remainder of the money to do what? Pay down debt. There's no way possible because you're not bringing in $600 billion. It costed $411 billion. So even if you gave everybody $1,400 like you did in 2020, we still ain't got enough. Now you missing about 90-something billion dollars, almost $100 billion. We don't have that money. So I'm not saying he lied because in my mind, I think that Donald Trump gonna figure out a way to give people $2,000. The problem with that is we don't got that to give. That's the problem. Like, I feel like he on something, bro, I don't care, give it to him. I said it, because he got a what problem? Ego problem. Right, so he gonna figure out a way. He will, and I'm not saying this as a good thing. Like, let's get that straight. He gonna figure out a way to say, look, I gave y'all $2,000. Some kind of way he gonna figure that out. So what he gonna do is, the reason why because he gonna put a Fed chairman in place that's gonna do what he want them to do. So guess what they gonna say? Let's get the people to $2,000. Let's figure it out later. So that's gonna put more debt on us. So what I'm saying is, this ain't gonna add up. This gonna put us under more pressure. So this is why I say 100% a recession is bound to happen. Did that math match just now? Right? But what happening now is the current Fed is under pressure because now what happens is, yo, you running late. You just already said that you're going to ease the tightening up come December 1st. So that means if you stop the tightening, means you're going to start doing what? Putting money into the economy by doing what? Buying bonds. Buying bonds allows them to put money back into the economy. That's the quantitative easings that they're talking about. That's QE. Now, on top of the QE, we still got interest rates, inflation that is not down. Now, I'm not saying bro is delusional or nothing, but he's saying we closer to interest rate. I don't know what stats he's looking at. Maybe somebody not giving him the right stats. Maybe somebody feeding his ego. I don't know, because when you're a person with power, people feed to your power instead of telling you the truth. We know this how that go. We've seen it before, right? So he may be dealing with bad data. But as an American, I need him to succeed so we can succeed. So all I'm saying is for us, we need to spend money on information, assets, and access. Because we may not be in it right now. And I think the Fed, our Fed, I think tomorrow they put, I think, $19 trillion or something. They do that starting tomorrow. They're doing an inflection. So that's what I got for y'all tonight, man. I hope this was a good episode, man. I hope y'all, damn, I had to close my damn laptop. Man. I hope this was a good episode, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the episode, man. I apologize for keeping y'all too late. We are an hour over. I just felt like it was one of them episodes that we needed to just like lock in. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody for staying. 4,000 people in the chat. I hope I didn't waste your time. I hope you had a good time. I hope you laughed. I hope you got some information. I hope you feel inspired, but I definitely hope you just got something from this. You feel what I'm saying? That's our goal. Want to shout out to our guy Bernard, who had a baby tonight. We're gonna just send some prayers over him and his family for a healthy baby that come home and can start trapping. Other than that, Jose dropped the link for the in-person event. Remember, we only have the virtual available. We'll be going over market structure. We'll be going over like real market structure, really going in depth on the market structure. Somebody hit me up today and asked me, Trap, I ain't get to work, but yet I'm like, I'm still working on it. Still dialing into the way it's supposed to be. We'll be going through market structure, price action, how to read the candles the correct way, how to enter, how to exit a trade the right way, what to be looking for. So we'll definitely dig into that. So if you want to come, here's the link to that. Also, come join the Patreon. Got some gangsters up in there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my Patreon family. Put them ones in the chat if you're in the Patreon. So you want to come join Trappers Anonymous, that's dope too. Remember, tomorrow we got Nvidia earnings after the bell. Thursday morning, we have economic data. Either we going to hell or we going to rise up. So put your buckle up on. Either we going to hell or we going to run it up. One of the two. There's no in between. You know what I'm saying? Pick your poison. Right? Pick your poison. Either we going to fear and greed going to one. Other than that, we just dropped a new episode on, shout out to my Patreon people. All my Trappers Anonymous people dropped the number 2s in the chat. We just dropped Why You Here. It's 3,300 of y'all in here right now. Do me a favor, go to the Wallstreet Trapper page. We dropped the event. We dropped the video tonight. It's my perspective on what's going on tomorrow and Thursday. So please go check that out. Go like it and subscribe it. Get your merch, get your merch. George, the merch still 50% off? Merch still 50% off on the whole site. Thank you to everybody that has been sending stuff for the food drive. I think the 22nd is our last day. We're going to drop all that food. We got a lot of food to drop off. And last but not least, man, go to Google, Apple, Spotify, go download so Jose can feel loved, y'all. So you can feel loved. With that being said, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all because without y'all, there is no us. Patreon family, I'm going to probably go live with y'all in the morning. Somebody asked me to break down, I think it was Meta. So we'll do some breakdown.
They want that Netflix.
Huh?
They want that Netflix.
No, I had said Netflix.
Oh, you said Netflix?
Meta.
Okay, yeah. Somebody did say that too.
We're going to probably break that down, probably break down Meta, probably break down something else. I don't know. So we'll probably do that tomorrow, probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that, so I can knock it out early. Other than that, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Again, thank y'all so much. Without y'all, there is no me. Without y'all, there is no us. And just trap safely out here, man. Y'all know it's that time of year, man. Salute.